Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me? I hope. Let's see. I'm just confirming that I'm actually live. Looks like. I'm just confirming that I'm actually live. Yeah. I hear myself. I got this one going in record time for once. Or sort of. Hey, everybody. Welcome to my Saturday show. And I'm just waiting for the guests to show up. My guests, my co-hosts, my visitors, so on and so forth. I am live. Hey, Mark. Hey, Ron. Hey, James. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just letting the people know that I am alive. Bear with me, folks. I guess I should put a link out, shouldn't I? I guess that's what everybody's waiting for. I always forget to do this stupid link. Oh, every time. You see, every time I forget the link. I thought I had it perfect this week, and I forgot the link. One day I'll get it right. I blame it on old age and senility. There we go. There we go. There's Niamh. Hey, Niamh. Let's bring people in one by one. Mark, I want to get Mark in here. Get Ron. I see Ron's back there. I see Niamh's back there. Let's bring them in one by one. We'll start with Mark, my co-host. Add Mark to the stream.
Hello.
Hello. Just let me get the layout set here. Settings, layout. There we go. Mark's in. Can you hear me, Mark? Let's bring in the next people. Let's bring Niamh in, and then Ron. Add to stream.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
There we go. Hello. Add to stream.
Oh, so nice.
Hello.
Here we are.
Oh, Ron's going to join us?
Ron's going to join us.
Hi, Ron.
Hello. Good to meet you.
Hello, Peter. How are you doing?
Yeah,
Good.
not too bad, thanks, Anthony. How are you?
Good, thanks. Hello, Niamh. How are you doing?
I'm not bad, thank you.
That's good. Mark, how you doing?
Good, I'm doing well.
Ron, how you doing?
I'm doing great, my friend. We turn that
That's
blind
good.
down a little bit.
Nice to see you all here.
Extra sun
Yeah.
on my face. That's better.
And hello, TARDIS Rider. And who else is in the gallery? Hello, Groovy Lisa. Hello, James. And the other 11 people or so that are in already. It's a nice day here in Toronto. Finally. It's like
Yeah.
12 degrees outside.
Yeah, finally have a nice day. I was out for the last little while. I was doing some music earlier, but I had to go out. It was just too nice a day to be sitting inside.
Yeah, I took the dog for a walk, and I was just amazed at how nice it was. And I went down to buy some crickets for my lizard because I thought about doing a feeding.
Yeah.
Do another slaughter on my stream. But I got to the
Nice.
store. I got to the lizard store, and the lineup, because they're now letting people into the store again. For the last 4 months, they've been doing bringing the stuff to the door. So you order, curbside.
All right.
So last weekend they opened things up a little bit. So I went down to the store today, and the lineup outside, because they're only allowed to let so many people in the store at once, right? The lineup was down the street. I was like, I'm not standing in a 1 hour lineup to buy 50 crickets. So
You people are ridiculous. Yeah, it's crazy.
because I can imagine how slow a pet store line
Hey,
is.
Ron, I think your phone is doing that static thing again.
Yeah, I
This
hear
one right
static.
here.
I can hear like a static crackle coming from
Yeah, I
you.
hear static.
Got my phone right. Got my hand right here.
Well, something's making static on your end.
Yeah, it's my phone most likely. I'll put it over there.
That's Ron. All's causing trouble.
Anything else? Did you hear anything again?
No, we're good now.
A
So,
little
Niamh,
bit.
what's
It's
new?
okay.
What's new, Niamh? What's new, Mark? What's new, Ron? What's new, everybody?
Not much new over here. I mean, I've been practicing bait a lot more recently. That's what I'm doing in my personal life.
Yeah, I've been just working on the next Projekt Gemineye album, and I got my album covers in for the Projekt
I know
Gemineye.
you did. I was waiting to see it.
Yeah, let's
I
see
came
the
in.
let's see the
Well,
album
Make it
cover.
big.
Let me make you big. Let me make Mark big. I got to remember how to do this now.
Better wreck you.
There we go.
There we go.
Cool.
That is cool.
So that came in, and the back is different than the CD, right?
Yeah.
That's
Very cool. Yeah,
I like
that's good.
that. I like
So
that.
I-
That's the back on the where you sign them. That white space there.
You got the
Yeah, right
CD
here.
there, so you can show people the
I
comparison?
don't have it. I don't have it with me right now.
Okay, I'll grab my CD. It's right
Yeah.
here.
But yeah, so this just came in, and I got to sign all 50. All 100 of them, and then I got to put in all the download
Posters.
cards that
Yeah,
go in
that's
with
the
it.
download card.
Well, is mine number one?
I'm number one.
Yeah, tell him,
My
Mark.
numbers
I
kept
own-
getting smaller. I was number 2 last time. What are you going to do
Yeah.
now? 1.5?
I might have to be a number 2. But yeah, so I got that, and I got to put in the posters that came with it as well and stuff like that. So busy afternoon. Plus, I'm working on the guitar solos now for the Dark Monarchy record. So I'm busy. Yeah, that's the back.
That's the CD back.
I was just
CD
project.
back.
Oh, very good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's the back of the CD version.
Thanks, Anthony, for showing that.
Yeah, it was just right here. So. And look,
So you're gonna
and
sign
even
them all, put
inside.
the
You're
posters
going to
on
have
the
something like this
inside?
inside, Ron, Mark? Are you going to have something like this inside the LP, or are you showing all 4?
It's
previous
gonna
ones
be,
today?
it's in the booklet.
It's in the
right?
booklet.
Yeah.
So that'll be on the inside of the vinyl.
Yeah.
Is all the artwork that's on here going to be inside?
Pretty
Except
much,
the-
yeah.
except the back cover?
Excuse me. Yeah, except the back cover. Yeah.
Nice
Yeah,
CD.
so it's going good. It's a bit of ahead of schedule, so that's always a good thing, right? So
especially
and,
for this time of the season. Yeah, usually everything's behind schedule.
yeah, well, I'm happy about that. And one thing I wanted to say though is I watched your picture disc video the other day.
Oh,
Found it
yeah.
found it very interesting. I commented on it as well, right? So
And so did
Yeah.
I.
yeah, so
No, I
it's,
saw
uh,
those.
yeah, but it was good. I enjoyed it. So good job.
Yeah, we're
Thank
gonna
you
we're
very
gonna
much.
talk a little picture disc, I think, during this episode.
Yeah, I even got one because I saw their description.
Yeah, I brought a few too.
Yeah, I figured we would do. It's something I've wanted to do on my channel for a while, so I guess we can do a little bit today. It's one that's been on my back burner for a while. Is
The TARDIS rider.
to clear up some
Gotcha.
misconceptions and things about picture discs and
Yeah,
because there's
Definitely.
definitely 2 camps. There's 2 camps on picture discs. It's a love-hate relationship, I think, with people. I have never met anybody that's kind of medium on the subject. People either love them.
You always have a
Hate
view on it, yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, look, the old '70s ones, like like those old ancient picture discs, like the ones that Kiss did for their solo records, they're terrible.
They're
those
crap.
ones sound
Absolute crap.
they sound like crap.
And
The
I think some of the misconception stems from people that bought those ones back in the day who don't want to take a chance on newer ones now because they remember those crappy 70s and 80s picture discs and they think that nothing's changed in that technology, which is pretty much untrue.
Yeah, the new ones are definitely much better. I mean, when the record store day thing started, they started doing those a lot. And like this one here, like I got the David Bowie "Man Who Sold the World" picture disc, right?
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really nice one, and it has like a cool back to it too. Like because this was done basically to represent the German release version of this album when it came out. When it first came out in Germany originally, this is the artwork that they had for it, not the one that we're used to, right?
Alright.
And so they recreated this artwork for it, right? And I also have like other ones, like when you look at these ones here, I have like a one for Yes, the 90125 picture disc,
Oh, yeah.
right? Then you have also like the one for Tormato that came out.
Yeah, I have the 90215 one as well.
90125.
I all say that. You know me, Mark. I have I have dyslexia, whatever. I can't even say the word with that album.
And I got, of
Beverly
course,
Hills 90210. There we go.
Oh,
that's the one for a Space Oddity, right?
Yeah, I got that one as well. I like that one. It's a good sounding disc. That one's a good.
Yeah, this one sounds really good. The other one that sounds really good as well here is I got this one too. I'm sure you saw it, Anthony, when it was on Record Store Day with the
I was
pinups.
gonna pull it out, but
yeah.
you're showing it. So yeah, I've got that one too, and it sounds great too.
That one sounds.
Angie as well on it, isn't it?
Sorry, what's that?
Angie Bowie's that's the missus on the others, isn't it? Angie Bowie?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, this is the girl that's there. That's what's her name? That's Twiggy.
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 Yeah, Twiggy.
There you go.
Yeah, that's Twiggy.
That's right.
Yeah,
And really super thin, like a twig model.
Yeah,
Back
and
in
the last two I got this one, which is a little bit more of the metal genre, which is the Screaming for Vengeance.
I have that one as well.
That one's really cool.
Have you taken it out of the PVC? That's the number one thing you got to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those PVC envelopes that a lot of picture discs come in. You know the ones I'm talking about, the clear plastic disc, the envelopes with the flap. People and they're watching. You need to remove those picture discs from those PVC sleeves. Those are the number one reason the picture discs go crappy and become noisy. You leave that disc in that PVC sleeve for a year, it's going to sound like absolute shite a year later.
And this is
I'm only in it for the money or something.
Yeah, and this one
I've got that one as well.
And this one came.
Which center did you get?
Well, I'm going to show you
different ones.
Yeah, there's different variations of it. So the back is always the same, which is this here, right? Yeah. And then the front that I got is this one here.
I think that's the one I got too. There were 4 different ones, and you didn't know what you got until you opened it.
Yeah, but this is cool because it also has the mono mix of the album, right? So when you buy the album normally, it's the stereo mix of it, right? So this is mainly the reason why I bought it. I mean, I don't hate picture discs by any stretch of the imagination, but I mainly bought that one because I wanted to get the mono mix of that album, right? So
yeah, I can understand audiophiles not liking picture discs because their standards for how they like things to sound is so high that they won't accept anything but that level of audio quality. But I think for the average consumer and the average listener, anything pressed like after about 2010, the technology's changed so much and improved so much in the last 10 years that there's nothing wrong with the new ones. I mean, so many artists are releasing their albums only on picture disc. They're not releasing those albums for a collector's item if it's the only way you can buy that album. Taylor Swift, what was it? Reputation, only on picture disc. Wendy just pressed her album on picture disc only. Like there is no other option. So people aren't just going to buy it and not listen to it. I mean, they're caring about. They wouldn't release it only on picture disc if the quality wasn't there.
But the thing is, though, I don't understand why you would do that, though. I mean, really, because at the end of the day, picture discs they sound a lot better. There's no question about it. They sound a lot better. But I still wouldn't say that I think they sound as good as a normal vinyl. I think the normal vinyls have really improved as well in quality throughout the years. They've gotten better with their virgin material. They've gotten better with all kinds of things. The stamping and everything has gotten much better. So I think that overall, I still would go the vinyl route. So, I mean, Iron Maiden did that too. They did a whole run of albums where they did nothing but picture discs ones.
I have a Maiden 88 picture disc.
How do you like it?
I think it sounds okay. I think one of the discs doesn't sound too good though. I don't know if that's my fault or if that's just how it is, but I just remember it not sounding very good.
Yeah, because I mean,
I know you
depends,
mentioned in your video the other day about your Tool album not sounding good, and unfortunately, Tool used one of the worst record pressing plants for all their records. So the Tool picture discs are old technology with the paper underneath the lacquer, the finish. They have the paper picture underneath there. Whereas a lot of the newer technology picture discs, they don't use paper anymore because paper creates a different. It's like if you put a cork turntable mat on your turntable or a felt or an acrylic. Those turntable mats change the sound of your turntable.
Static.
And they actually change the dynamic, the harmonics of your turntable vary according to the type of mat you have. So the picture disc, you get the same. It's the same theory. Those paper, the old style picture disc where they had the paper underneath, they printed it on a glossy and then mounted it. Those have a different sound dynamic because it's paper. A lot of the newer ones, a lot of the newer ones are printed on like a film. They're printed on like a plastic film.
Vinyl film, right.
Yeah, a vinyl film, which is then mounted.
So the paper's not bouncing the music back against it. It's going right through. Yeah.
Exactly. So the vinyl film is almost the same properties as the actual disc itself. So that's the big difference between these modern picture discs. The picture's printed on a vinyl film. And the latest technology, and I'll show you guys in a minute, is, of course, this new technology where they print the picture on the back. They mount the picture on the back of the disc, and you only have a one-sided disc, and the grooves are pressed on one side, and the picture is mounted on the back side. And so a single album, you're going to have two discs.
Yeah.
But you're going to have an audiophile quality album. It sounds perfect. And the picture is mounted on the back. And there's two ways they do it. The one
you got there, young man.
I'll show you that Train Records does. They mount the picture on the back. And then the one that I got for the Judas Priest British Steel from Record Store Day, that's actually a laser printed
Anthony, let your guest
on the back. It's actually laser printed right on the disc.
Yeah, let them show their stuff here.
So this is Anthem of the Sun. It's one of the early Grateful Dead albums, which we got on.
Okay. It's pretty psychedelic. I was wondering who it was.
There's a picture of it, yeah.
And got the band at the back here.
Right. Cool. That's a cool front on that. I like that. Very cool.
Yeah. This is probably the Dead at one of their most sort of like progressive. This is really a very good album. But again, it's a picture disc,
When did it come out?
1968.
Well, I mean the picture disc.
The record, that's what I wanted to know. Yeah, 68.
The picture disc came out about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. So it'll be probably better sounding than an old school version of that, right?
Yeah, no, it's not too bad, but I just like you were showing your picture discs, I thought I'd show you.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go nuts, man.
I mean, I don't know if you got. I mean, Ron, are you a Dead fan or not really?
Ron, are you a Dead fan?
No.
They are a bit Marmite.
I'm a progressive nerd. That's what I am. I like progressive rock.
Yeah, so do I.
I know you do. I just wanted to throw that in there. But I do like 80s music too. And this is my only picture disc that I have. Simple Minds.
Oh, I love Simple Minds.
Yeah, this is a good record right here. And you know what? It sounds really good. I'm one of those what you call audiophile type people too. And I don't have a lot of picture discs. It's not because I don't like them or this and that, but I've always just found, the other record. I don't go and hunt these out. It's not something I collect. But I found this record. It sounds really good. It's got, my favorite song by them on here. Sanctify Yourselves on here. Yeah. So I love this record. It's really good. It sounds fine to me. I don't have any issues with it at all.
Great.
Well, Simple Minds I love a lot. I mean, in this country, like we have this fixation about pitching one band against another. Whether it was in the 60s when you had the Stones against
Beatles and Stones,
or in the 90s you had Oasis against Blur. In the 80s, it was very much U2 against Simple Minds. And I tended to like Simple Minds a lot. I mean, I just absolutely adore New Gold Dream. I think that's just such a great album. It really is.
Right.
Great.
I like U2 as well, though. Yeah.
Yeah, they're good as well. I mean, do you have any more picture discs there, Peter?
Have we got any? I can't think. Niamh's probably got.
I've got some upstairs, I think. I have the tall one and the.
Yeah. I wanted to address. There was this fella made Star Power. Made a comment. He said, "Audiophiles aren't record collectors." Well, I was wanting to know, who do you think kept records alive in the 90s when nobody was buying them except for audiophiles, or the rappers were doing their spinning. They kept vinyl alive as well as audiophiles because they didn't like CDs. We wanted records. So I don't know why he thinks audiophiles don't like records or don't collect them.
Well, I'm guessing what he might be trying to say though is that audiophile people are more concerned about the actual sound of records and not so much
That's
about
why we like
collecting.
records. That's
Yeah,
my
but-
point.
Yeah, but he's saying that you're not really there to collect things like picture discs and stuff like that. You're not a collector. You're just a guy who wants to listen to music that
I collect
of a certain
music.
quality,
It
right?
happens to be on a record.
Yeah, I know. Look, I'm not arguing with you, Ron. I'm just saying that
No, I know you're not.
I understand his point of it too, where he's saying that he
I
thinks
didn't
that
understand the point.
that record collectors are people that collect like all kinds of records, not a
But they don't listen to them.
specific
They just collect
window
them.
of them, right? Yeah. But I mean, you know, to each their own. I mean, some people love collecting picture discs, and more power to them. I don't. I collect just things that are general to the band. Like if I love Yes and they put out a picture disc on
Yeah.
Record Store Day,
You're more of a
I'll grab it.
completist than I am.
Yeah,
you're a
exactly.
completist.
Whereas
not.
you know, but I love audiophile stuff too. I'll be honest, I don't really hunt down the best stuff. I'll try to find the best I can, but sometimes the best stuff
Yeah.
is also out of my price range sometimes
Yeah,
too,
me
right?
too. Yeah.
So I can't exactly get like the top of the line,
Yeah.
ones that are like $200 pressings or something like that, right?
No, I'm not buying it. But you know what? There's a lot of non-audiophile, like getting that those old psych records from the 60s and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Dots and Loop showed one last week on the show, and I went to look for it. It was $800. But I found a reissue out of Germany. I bought that one for like $40. I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, Peter, you have any recently acquired stuff that you guys got of late since we talked?
We're talking about sort of music that basically is expensive, and I couldn't help this. In April, there's this. 2 weeks ago we were talking about. Do you like a band called the Mars Volta?
Yeah.
Do you know the Mars Volta, Ron?
Yeah, I know them. Yeah.
I have to listen to it. I can't say I do, but the name rings a bell. But I don't have any of their
Some
stuff.
great modern prog.
Yeah. So the Mars Volta in April have released a box set, which is basically all their albums plus spin-offs, live stuff. There's a load of add-ons and everything with that, and I couldn't help it. I had to order that.
Oh, you got it, eh?
Yeah.
Wow, that's good for you.
I think I've ordered 2 because I want to sell one.
Yeah. So that's fantastic. I mean, it's sold out. So you're gonna have quite the collectible piece there with you as well there. So one thing I want to address too here is James Winston Lennon put, what about colored vinyl? I guess he's asking colored vinyl as opposed to sound quality from the regular pressing. Colored vinyl now is equal, in my opinion, to black vinyl.
Absolutely.
I mean, there is no
issues
difference anymore with it at all. I mean, yes, back in the day, maybe in the 80s or something, there might have been a run of it.
There's some minor. The word went out of my mind. There are a couple of minor ones for colored vinyl that are bad, like glow in the dark vinyl. Keep away from it. Like
no.
Because glow in the dark vinyl, they have to put a special additive into that, which does affect the sound quality drastically.
Yeah, definitely.
I addressed that in a video, Mark, about 4 or 5 years ago. I talked about colored vinyl because I was talking about the carbon black that they're adding in, that kind of all the formulation of. And I said, what about colored? I said, the thing about the colored vinyl is like anything else. Who's making the record?
Exactly.
If you got some
of course,
run-of-the-mill people, and they're making some kind of thrash metal record because they want to sell it, so they'll put it on splatter vinyl. You don't expect it to sound great.
Yeah.
But if you get it from a really good company that makes good records, and it doesn't matter the color, because I've got some classic records on that translucent red, and it's unbelievable sound on it.
Yeah.
A couple Depeche Mode records on that translucent blue from Germany. Man, knock your socks off on 45 RPM. So
you really are.
Who's making it?
Fan. Ron, you really are an 80s fan, aren't you?
A who fan?
80s. You like the music in the 80s?
I like 80s, 90s. Of course, about 71 to 73 is my favorite. 74. That's Camo and all that stuff, and the curved air, all that. That's what I like.
You like Van de Graaff Generator?
I love Van. That's my favorite band of all time.
Really?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Most people
Fantastic.
can't get into Van der Graaf too, but it's kind of like a progressive.
Uh,
Yeah, progressive. That's a good way to kind of explain it. Actually, progressive. Yeah. So, yeah, again, just to close off that topic, I mean, the colored vinyl. I've done it. Every single record I've done for my
Yeah.
band has been on color, and I've had never an issue with it, never a problem, never a complaint. Again, it's all about who does it, and the plant that I use, Train Records. Those guys have always done fantastic work. It always sounds great, and I mean, Ron, you've had my records too, and you've never had a complaint or an issue.
Not every
ever.
one. They're
Yeah.
all good. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I pulled a few samples out of my picture discs of
Very
various
nice. Genres.
pressing technologies. Let's just say that. Like I've got close to 50 picture discs, and I'll agree that most I don't have hardly any from the 70s or 80s. Just I have one or two unplayable, completely unplayable. You get it as a collector's item. But I do have some that are various qualities. Now, for example, I'm going to go worst to best quality here. Okay, so here's Ozzy Osbourne. Okay, from a couple of years ago, from a few years ago. This is Memoirs of a Madman.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
all right.
So this was pressed on old school style with the paper, so on and so forth.
Mm.
So quality sound, I'll admit. So not bad, but there are some clicks and pops, some noticeable clicks and pops, odd bits of distortion in the tracks and so on. Not the best, but see, that's old technology pressed out of a plant that still does picture discs the old way. See, one of the things with the picture disc, like I was talking about before, is here in Canada and Train Records. I found this out and Train Records that Mark just talks about, who press his albums. I had to deal with Train Records with another artist who asked me to help her out in getting her record pressed because I lived close to Train Records, so she asked for my help. And Train Records had told me that William at Train Records had said that picture discs are outlawed in Canada, like the production of them are outlawed in Canada. They're banned because there were too many on-the-job accidents in making the old style picture discs. People were, getting fingers because you had to get your fingers into the press to put these pictures on. So the whole technology making those old style picture discs was dangerous. So they were banned in Canada. So when this artist came to Train Records to have her picture disc done, he said, I can't do it because we're not allowed to do it. Well, let's think of something new, which I'll show you in a minute. So they thought up something new, which was fantastic. Next one is Ozzy Osbourne. Again, this is his latest one, Ordinary Man. Funnily enough, this was pressed at a different plant than all his black and colored vinyls. And you'll see if you go on YouTube, lots of people complain about the pressing quality of this album on vinyl. Everybody, go on channel 33 RPM. Lots of big channels are like this. I've had multiple copies. They sound like crap. Blah 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 blah. Does anybody notice the distortion on side 2? Blah blah blah. It's because all those were pressed out of a different plant than his picture disc. The picture disc is actually the best sounding version of this album.
Really?
Oh, really? Over the other, because the plant he was using Rainbow. We were now out of business. Rainbow pressed the other discs. They did a terrible job. But that other company had to do this because this is one of those ones that's got the vinyl picture under the surface.
All right.
This one, and I have both versions of this album. I actually have a colored version, a limited to deluxe edition, and I have this. And this one sounds better than my other version.
That's going to my point. It's not about how it's made; it's about who's making it, and
exactly.
Not the color or the version or whatever, but who made the record.
Here's one from last year. This is the 40th anniversary.
Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
The 40th anniversary of the first Iron Maiden album. Now you can see how they've done this one. It's once again the vinyl picture, but it's a clear vinyl. As you can see, it's a clear vinyl disc. The picture doesn't even take up the whole surface of the disc.
That's probably even better.
Yeah, it sounds great. Sounds fine. Absolutely sounds fine. Nothing wrong with it. Another example. That's once again that newer technology.
But Mark, I kind of get the point you were making before, because he said this record sounds awful, but it's only a collector's item. Yeah, audiophiles aren't going to buy that.
Yeah.
There's some more Iron Maidens. I know Niamh showed one. I just show a couple others. These were the two greatest hits ones, the double and the triple vinyl.
Oh
They
yeah.
don't sound bad. They've got the vinyl, and I think all Iron Maiden picture discs have pretty decent quality to them.
Oh
The
yeah.
sound, I've never had any issues with those.
Yeah.
This is my latest one that I got just a couple of weeks ago. Wendy James for Scene 2. This is the first time it's ever been pressed on vinyl, and she chose to do it on picture disc only. There's no other version of it. It sounds absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So once again, it comes down to the pressing. And then the final two that I'm going to show. This is Record Store Days British Steel, Judas Priest. The deluxe version with the couple extra songs and so on. And what they did is, as you can see, I've taken it out of the PVC sleeve. I'm using a vinyl storage solution sleeve here.
Yeah.
But what they have done is, and these are vinyl storage solutions inner sleeves as well. What they've done is this disc here, it's actually two discs. I know it's a single record. So side 1 is on one disc, side 2 is on another disc. I mean, you've got to flip a record over anyhow to play the side. So what's it matter if you have to change the disc? You still got to flip it. But what they did on this one is it's pressed on this side. So you're getting a normal pressing, right? There's no picture mounted underneath. This is just regular everyday wax. Everyday wax.
All right.
With a label and everything. Album's pressed on this side. The picture has been laser printed on the other side of the disc.
Oh, okay. I see what you're. Yeah.
It's a laser print on the back side of the disc. There's no paper, there's no film, there's no nothing.
Yeah.
It's been
Okay.
laser printed.
Yeah. It's a good idea. Probably pricey, but it's
which
good.
is another great idea. So you're getting absolutely normal disc.
Yeah. That must be a pretty pricey technology to do.
I don't know. I mean, technically, there's less materials involved.
Yeah, but I mean, the laser printing, I'm guessing, might be something that's not exactly cheap.
But that's
right?
one of the latest technologies. And then this is the one I was talking about that I did from Train Records, where Mark gets his albums done. She wanted to do a traditional picture disc. They couldn't do it. So they came up with this idea. And I think this is one of the most beautiful picture discs I've ever seen. And what they did is it's similar to the idea with the laser printing, except on this one, once again, they gave that beautiful, that beautiful, pressing, regular colored vinyl pressing. But then on the back side of this one, it's a film. They printed the picture on a clear film and mounted it on the back side of the disc. And the whole idea is it looks like a stained glass window.
That does
But
cool.
not only that, it looks like a hologram as well, doesn't it?
It's absolutely,
cool,
and it sounds stellar. I mean, this is like Mark's records. It's audiophile quality grooves on there because it's pressed normal, and then on the back side of the disc, this very thin vinyl film is put on the back side of the disc, so it doesn't change the audio dynamics at all. And like I said, it has this transparent effect.
So it's one-sided, right?
It's one-sided disc, and once again, you've got side A on one disc, side B on another disc.
Right.
And
Classic
it sounds
did their
as good
4
as
LPs.
anything you're gonna get. Similar
They
to the
only did 'em
British
on
Steel,
one
but
side.
they didn't print it. They didn't do laser printing. They mounted a film, a very, very light film on the back side of the disc, and then put a matte finish on it.
That looks good.
Yeah, it looks very, very
So
cool.
There are picture discs out there that the technology has changed a lot. I think you're going to start seeing more of these and the ones like British Steel in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, those are more aesthetically pleasing, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can do a lot of nice images and stuff like that. I mean, I think that's the thing too. I was asked a lot of times if I was going to do any picture disc because of the covers that I had. So people say you should put the kind of cover image on your picture disc, but because of the sound quality, I was always uncertain about doing it, right? Because I know a lot of the people that buy my records right?
I think and this is the first time Train Records had ever done this. They had to think this up to satisfy the client. And that's why they came up with this. It was the first time it had ever been done. And I think the results are fantastic. Like something like one of your images, Mark, and get trained to do something like this with one of your images, those Roger Dini. Imagine imagine the effect it would have on a disc like this, one of those pictures.
It's something to think about, right?
Yeah.
Very nice.
One thing I envy you about living in UK, you can get all those nice UK presses, like on the Pink Scroll label. It's really tough to get those.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I think we've got some good stuff going on in the UK at the moment. But you know, for me, for my own taste, you know, like the best thing that I mean, Stephen
My
Wilson.
internet is not working well.
Stephen Wilson is just, to me, such a great musician, and
Yeah.
what he produces is just wonderful.
All the
abs-
remasters.
I'm sorry, I
absolutely.
missed out. I was lagging a bit. I didn't hear who you were talking about. Was great.
Stephen Wilson. Of
Okay,
Porcupine.
yeah.
You know Porcupine?
I love Porcupine Tree. Yeah, I love Porcupine Tree.
What about you, Mark? Do you like
No,
them?
I love Porcupine Tree. I got a couple of their records. I just bought them on vinyl not long ago. I mean, I'm a huge fan of his record, Raven Who Refused to Sing.
Oh,
That album was the one that got me really big into him. I got like the Blu-ray audio of that. I got like every CD version that came out of it. I've got the vinyl of that. I mean, I went to town on that record. I've said numerous times, I think that's one of the best progressive rock albums of the 2000s era. Easy, hands down, easy.
yeah,
Definitely.
it's wonderful. What about you, Anthony? Do you like Porcupine Tree? Or
I have, to be absolutely honest, I have yet to hear anything by Porcupine Tree. I know I hear a lot of channels. A lot
They've
of
only
people
got
on
like
BC
10
talking
records.
about them. I guess they're one of those bands I have to get around to.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Stephen Wilson's remixes of
Yeah.
things, you know. So, you know, I know who he is, but I haven't actually listened to anything he's done.
he actually's done, yeah.
Yeah.
But I do have a lot of his remixes and mixes and things.
Well, what he's done with the remixes is just phenomenal.
The
Well,
Yes
the
remixes
Yes
are
remixes
really
are
good.
just
The
incredible.
Yes
the
ones
tall,
are
and
good.
I like
yeah.
the tall remixes. I think the tall remixes are great.
Oh yeah.
I got the no, I got mixed opinions on Just for Tall, but on the Yes stuff, I got the box,
Oh
and
yeah.
then I compared it to but I have like the One Step and the Half Speed Masters, all that. I compared it to those records, and I said they're not quite there, but I said if you are just getting into Yes and you don't have a lot of records, buy the box. It's a great value, and they're pressed at Optimal in Germany. They're very quiet. I mean, it's hard to get pressings of Yes that are really nice and brand new, pristine, quiet, because you don't have a lot of quiet passages in there. So I think they're a great value, and they do sound great. Are the ultimate? Of course not, but I mean that's why you've got those other records that are a little bit better.
Yeah.
Something I've been listening to lately is this record. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
All right, I know. I'm
Got to go here. The Third Mind. I got it upside down.
no, I
would
don't
get
know.
backwards.
No.
Not heard of
Just
it.
write it down. Have a little listen to that. Pretty cool
Yeah?
stuff. Yeah.
Are they? Are you from Canada as well, Ron?
No, I'm from the United States, but I lived in Canada.
All right, okay. Which part of the States are you from?
I live in Georgia right now.
What? Home of blackberry smoke.
But Ron used to live in Canada. He used to live in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So you're familiar with Currumbin?
No, I'm not. I don't know about you,
I'm not.
mate.
No.
It's another band that I've been listening to lately. Really like this band. They're from Texas.
Yeah?
pretty big.
What style of music? What style of music, Ron?
Cool music.
Cool music.
But also,
It's kind of got a bit of a funk in it. Kind of a lot of guitars. They don't do a lot of singing. It's just you just have to listen to it.
yeah.
Another band that's been around since the '90s, Morphine.
Oh
You
yeah.
familiar
I've
with
heard of
those?
them, yeah.
These guys are phenomenal. You need
Yeah.
to start getting some morphine in your life. This is good stuff.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah,
Ron.
I-
You need to get
Yeah,
some
that's why I
morphine.
said it,
Yeah.
Anthony. Then back to my Canadian roots, the Tragically Hip.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
finally came out on vinyl because this is a '90s record. You couldn't get it. I mean, it was way expensive. He's only made a few.
Practically hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
write that down. One of my favorite bands of all time. Ask Mark and Anthony.
I've never been big on Tragically Hip myself, but I'm very familiar with them.
I've been hit and miss on Tragically Hip. I
I love them.
have
they're
three
fantastic.
other albums. The three albums that I have by them, I absolutely love. but I know
Right.
there's some other albums in their discography that I just don't like at
Yeah.
all.
Some of their later stuff, you know, they've
Yeah.
got so many records.
Their
All the early
their
stuff is
very
great.
early stuff, their first 3 albums were phenomenal.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Road Apples is good. That I
Road
like.
Apples,
I
Yeah.
love Road Apples. Yeah.
Yeah,
fully
that's a good album.
completely,
I think-
fully completely, and they're
Yeah. This was
they're-
probably their last really good record that I could
Yeah,
recommend.
Day for Night is good too. Yeah.
I mean, just the name of the group is appealing. But one album we got recently, and when I say recently, after we came on this channel,
Okay.
is Canadian by a Canadian band, and it's the Canadian band FM
FM.
Oh yeah.
of Black
Yes,
Noise.
yeah, that's one I reckon. We
That's the
recommended.
old record
Black
from the
Noise.
70s.
Did you get Black Noise?
Great album. That is such a
Yeah.
great album.
Black Noise. That was one I'd recommended that you listen to. FM Black Noise.
Was-
Absolutely.
It's oldie but a
fantastic.
goodie.
What a great album.
Yeah, that's
Three
a
guys,
really good
three
album.
guys, a violinist, a keyboardist, and a drummer. And
Yeah, I know.
man,
It really knocks it out the planet.
Yeah. Well, Nash the Slash also plays like electric mandolin.
yeah,
as
electric
well.
mandolin. Nash the Slash is such an original musician. I don't think I've seen anybody do what Nash does or play the things that he
Oh,
does.
David Bowie.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but I agree. They're
Yeah.
definitely a very
me right
very
there.
good band. I mean, some of the things that I've got recently. I mean, I don't know what your guys' opinion is on this stuff, but I've been lately. I know Ron's a big fan of Japanese pressings, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I got all my Bowie first edition.
Leave it.
Japanese.
You've got a
And-
common
and-
friend here with me. Loves
But some of the first pressings are difficult to get cheap. They're expensive now, a lot of them. So
Very.
what I've been doing lately, and I've been finding that's a good alternate, at least for me, is I've been buying German first pressings, like early German pressings.
Yeah.
German and Japanese, my two favorite.
Oh,
pressings.
Trespass.
So I got Trespass, right? And I got that on a German label. This is not the first one. It's the one, right? It's the early second pressing of it. And it sounds really good. It's on the Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
And
the
it
German
sounds-
pressing?
Yeah, it's a German one, and this vinyl is so thick. I was surprised how thick it was
Nice,
for a
okay.
'70s pressing. You know what I mean? And I've always found that the German release versions of these records sound really really good. If I can't get a Japanese version of it, I always go and get myself a German one, right? And the
The
last
pink scroll on that would be great. On the
Yeah, and I
Christmas,
got-
famous Christmas label.
Oh,
I got a
Trespass,
Japanese of the Close to the Edge. That one sounds really nice too.
No, we have a Japanese pressing of Yes songs.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we
you got
got-
you got one of those.
Yeah.
That's great. And one of the more recent things that I got, and I'm sure you guys will appreciate this, is I got Marillion.
Oh yeah, that's great.
This is B-sides themselves. This is all their B-sides that they released from their first 4 records when they were with Fish. So all the B-sides that are on
Right.
those singles
Hmm.
are
Awesome.
on this. So it has like, Grendel, Charting the Single, Market Square Heroes, 3 Boats Down from the Candy, Cinderella Search, Lady Nina, Freaks, Tucson, and Margaret live. It's really, really, really good. And the last thing I'll show you that I got recently, which I'm a little unsure about as far as the pressing quality, is I
Oh.
got this.
Days of Future
Yeah,
Past.
yeah.
That
That, the DSS stuff is great.
Yeah. So
I mean,
it's-
I mean, as an album, I love that, but I personally prefer sort of albums like To Our Children's Children, In Search of a
Every
Lost.
good boy deserves favor.
Oh,
Yes.
what a great album!
Yeah,
What-
see, I know what you like.
Yeah, I got a bunch of those on
Great
the UK.
outfit.
I got UK pressings of those, and I really loved those. They
Well,
turned out
fuck
really
those.
good. And of course, for my rock things, I recently got the Kiss. This is the 45th anniversary single on orange vinyl that they put out, and this is for "Shout It Out Loud," right? That
Yeah.
single that came out. This is from Destroyer, right? But they recreated the Dutch pressing of it, like how the sleeve was when it was released on the Dutch pressing.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you see, it's like a totally different style of like the
Agree.
back cover, right? So I think it turned out really nice. And the funny thing is, I bought this. It's just recently came out. I bought it for $30 with shipping. Shipping kills me here in Canada. But already, if you go online and look for this on Discogs, they're going for $100 each.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't know why these things get so expensive so quickly, but all these Kiss records, if you get these reissues, you can start a small pension with them. It's how much money people are paying for these. I've seen like $150. There's a pressing coming out of Killers. It's on pink vinyl. People are starting to get it now. People are selling it for $500 on eBay. It's unbelievable.
Are they selling them or are they having for sale?
Oh yeah, there's tons of people are buying it.
That's crazy.
Like just
I'm
now,
not buying it. Yeah. We're not
And
buying
there's a
it.
white-
Nobody here's going to buy that for $500.
And that's the thing. They had a white label promo of the first album. Okay, I've seen it before selling for $200. Yesterday on eBay, one sold and it was in horrendous condition. The front cover, it was like ring wear on and everything. It went for $891 US.
Still got lots of money. Oh, they got their stimulus checks in the States now. They can go be stupid with buying records.
It's unbelievable how much people are paying for these
I think
records.
I need to start putting all my records I want to sell on eBay right now. People got their money. They'll be buying them up. Better
How many
than
people
Christmas.
said that? It's unbelievable.
Well, I think
Yes.
I just think the price of vinyl is going to go higher.
Yes,
anyway.
Star Power, you're right. Sorry, go ahead.
I think the price of vinyl is going to go higher anyhow. I mean, I don't care how many sort of represses there are. If you have certain presses and certain albums, they will hold their value and go higher.
Right.
Well, Warner's Brothers closed down their warehouses and company all of February because they said that they needed to reprice their entire library because they were raising their prices by 30%.
Bloody hell.
And so, of course, Universal followed suit at the beginning of March. They closed down their warehouses to reprice their stuff. So, everybody's going to do it. Sony's going to get around to doing it. And they said they were hiking there because of costs and, the effect on the market in the last year, blah, 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 blah. They were being forced to raise their prices by 30%. Their manufactured suggested list price by 30%.
That's all a bunch of
Right.
crap. They just know that people are paying more.
Total crap.
They know that people are paying more and willing to pay more for it, so they just gonna say, "Yeah, we'll just increase it because people will buy it." And that's the thing that's terrible. That's a big argument I always have with people on these Kiss forums. I go, the reason why these prices are so high is because you guys are buying it. If you won't buy this record for $250, then they won't sell it anymore for that much.
Yeah, it really annoyed me because I had a pre-order for something that was going to come out during this time when Warner's was going to be closed, and they emailed me just before the date when it was going to drop. I pre-ordered it like 6 months ago, and they emailed me, well, we're terribly sorry, but we're closing our warehouses for 3 weeks, so all the pre-orders will be delayed by 3 weeks. Like, you fucking advertise something for 6 months. It's coming out on so-and-so day. And then you don't deliver the product to everybody because you're going to close your warehouse. You know what I mean? It's asinine, completely asinine.
This whole pricing thing, back in the 90s when Classic Records started making their stuff, they would put those records out and the covers were super, super thick. You'd never seen a thicker cover in your life. The originals were never that thick. And then they would get Bernie Grumman to remaster them from the original master tape, so it never sounded better. And they were charging like $30 for the record. So it was kind of expensive, but you were really getting a lot of value. Nowadays, they take that digital tape and they just punch the records out, a lickety split, and they still want to get $30, $35 for the record. That's people getting ripped off doing that.
Massively so.
I pulled a few imports because we were talking about imports. I keep all my imported, my Japanese, my German.
Hey Ron, how you doing?
All my imports, my UK, Japanese, and German imports, I keep in one section, so they're all separated.
Hey,
so
Paul.
I'm just going to show a handful.
How's it going, guys?
There's
Yeah,
the
not bad.
Japanese,
Meeting
This
of
is
the
the first press.
expatriates.
and that is Kate Bush, Lionheart. That's a Japanese first press.
That's nice.
That's good. Yeah.
Beautiful sounding. Another one, and this was only released in Japan. It never was released outside of Japan. Deep Purple in concert. Japanese first press.
Oh, that's cool.
And this is Deep Purple right at the Machine Head time. So there's two concerts here, one from 71 and one from 72.
Is that
70,
right about the same time as the Made in Japan album?
Yeah, just a little bit before that. Just a little bit before that, like a year before that. But
about
these are
74, 75.
spectacular performances. This
73.
one's 71, 73
73.
performances.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Another one that I really like. This is Dire Straits. Alchemy.
Oh, yeah,
Live.
that's a good one.
This is a French pressing.
Ah,
A French first press. It sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Did
French.
you-
made good records.
This one only released in Germany, never released in the United States. Electric Light Orchestra live,
So,
and this was a German press. This is Electric Light Orchestra live. This is early Electric Light Orchestra before El Dorado.
all right.
Oh, nice.
So very prog.
I like Electric Light up till El Dorado. After that, not as
This, of
much.
course, one of my favorite, absolute favorite Genesis albums of all time. The Story of Genesis, Japanese.
Selling
first
England
press.
by the pound. That must be your favorite.
Oh,
Japanese
75.
first press, the Story of Genesis, which is a compilation going from Trespass right up to, and then there were 3.
Yeah.
wow.
Comes with a book. It's on the Mad Hatter, the Charisma.
How many
Man
records are
label.
in that?
It's gorgeous, fantastic sounding, absolutely fantastic sounding.
Is that how many records are in that?
That's a 2 LP. This is a
Two,
2 LP
okay.
with a book, with a 24-page book.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
fantastic.
Nice.
I mean, you've got on here side 1, the Knife musical box, Watchers in the Skies. Side 2, the entire Supper's Ready. And I Know What I Like. Side 3, Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, Dance on a Volcano, Squonk and Ripples. Side 4, 11th Earl Lamar, Your Own Special Way, Burning Rope, and Follow You, Follow Me. So when you only have a couple hours to listen to Genesis, this gives you a whole whack in one shot.
Yeah.
Then the next one, this is Golden Earring. This is a German pressing comp album of Golden Earring from their early stuff to about Switch. And what blows me away, besides it sounding phenomenally good, is each side of this record is about 34 minutes. It's
Wow.
a single LP,
That's
34
fantastic.
minutes a side, and it sounds amazing.
This is what I'm listening to right now. I got it in the background.
So
What you
this
got?
is a comp, but I'm just blown away by the sound quality.
Of Golden
considering it's
Earring.
34 minutes per side, you know?
Yeah, that's rough. That's tough to do to make it sound good.
Yeah, I'm impressed. Here's
I
another.
don't like Golden Earring. The only Golden Earring I know is the single they did, what, Radar Love?
Yeah. 26 studio albums later.
We have to educate these
I
people,
know.
Anthony.
So this is an original German first press of No Promises, No Debts. What Canada got was a really crappy cover. The cover they released for Canada was absolute shite. And it had a slightly altered track listing. This is the original German first press of Golden Earrings, No Promises,
That doesn't
No
look
Debts.
a lot different than the Canadian
Yeah, the
release.
Canadian cover was black and white.
For what? No promises, no debts?
Yeah.
Mine wasn't.
Yeah, look it up. Not on the CD, but on the vinyl. The original vinyl was a black and white picture on the front cover. So that's a first press. German press
find out
sounds
shortly.
fantastic. Another German press, Keeper of the
Oh,
Flame.
yeah, you're right. It is. Yeah.
Yeah, you see?
Thinking
Isn't
of
that
the
just
back.
that's the back.
That's the
was
back. Yeah,
front.
there's the front.
Yeah, isn't that a horrid picture?
Oh, that's what it is. The back's the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
back.
back
They
is
used
the-
the front picture for the back of the Canadian one. Here's another German press, first press of Golden Earrings, Keeper of the Flame. Never ever released in North America.
I've got that one.
And last, Japanese pressing of the Scorpions.
I got the exact same one.
World.
The Japanese one.
Yeah, fantastic sounding.
Great record.
And the
Only
last one I
Scorpions
pulled
own.
was an original first UK press of
Thin
Thin
Lizzy,
Lizzy. Bad reputation on that Vertigo flying saucer label. So
I got a
that's just
question
handful.
for. Sorry, I don't remember your name, sir. Niamh's
Peter.
dad.
Peter.
How about Hawkwind? You like the early Hawkwind stuff?
Yeah, Silver Machine and all that stuff. I quite like. I saw them live. When,
Right. Very
Um,
cool.
Wishbone Ash.
About 1972.
Yeah. Space Ritual. That's when the Space Ritual was out. When they made
I
that
have to
record.
leave. We just have company arrive. We just want to stop by and say hello and hope you guys are all doing
Hey,
well.
Paul. Well, you can come back.
Yeah.
We'll be on for a while.
Wanted to say thanks for
Okay,
your
well,
email.
We'll
I appreciated your emails. That was really nice of you.
Well, yeah, I just certain people were creeping me out, and I'm sure they were you as well. So
I agree.
yeah, I haven't been back to the channel since.
No, myself included. I've not been back and don't plan to return.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
Well, if
life.
you have time, we'll be back. We'll be here for a while, so you can also pop back on anytime.
Okay, everybody, take care. Stay
Take care.
healthy.
Bye, Paul. Have a
Stay
good
healthy.
day.
Me
Bye.
too.
So
Yeah, I think
Peter, how about
I've still
Wishbone
got
Ash?
like 3 Hawkwind records left. You know, the Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, Space Ritual Live, and In Search of Space. I think you've got to have those 3 records. They're great.
Look into that then.
Well, Hawkwind as a live act in the 70s were quite interesting.
They were interesting, yes, to put it mildly.
Yeah, they have a lot of live albums too.
Because they had a show as
Dancer.
well. Yeah,
They had a dancer.
Dancer, yes,
yeah,
they had the
called
dancer.
Stacia.
Yeah, I don't think they would have been able to play in Canada with that show. I don't think that would have gone over too well.
I like them, but, you know.
Okay, I was just wondering. I thought you probably had a few of their records. Yeah.
How about Wishbone Ash?
I mean, all I used to do is watch them and listen to them and go to the gig and enjoy myself, and that was it really. Because I was listening to a lot of other stuff. I mean, Genesis. I was talking to my brother this morning. Genesis at our local town hall was just 1972. We saw them at what is now a shopping mall, and
Right.
it was just amazing. They were with an Irish band called Frupp, who were the support act, and they were just amazing.
Yeah, I know the band. They're very collectible. Those records now go for lots of money. Frupp does, yeah.
Frupp, really?
Oh yeah. If you got any of those records, yeah, they command money.
Yeah, but no, Genesis,
Because they're hard to get. They're very rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how about Wishbone Ash, Peter? Niamh?
Oh, Argus.
Are you fans? Are you guys fans?
This is a thing, an eternal thing that I have with me. I beg her to listen to Argus. I say,
Yeah.
Niamh, just
Really,
listen to
Niamh? You
Argus.
haven't checked out Wishbone Ash? Little
know.
Miss Prog girl.
Hang
Haven't checked
Hang
out
on
Wishbone
now.
Ash
He
yet?
hasn't finished.
You tell
I
her,
mean-
Peter. You tell your daughter to get some Wishbone Ash in her life.
I mean, what can I say, Anthony? I've tried and I've tried and I've
Just
tried.
beat her over the head with it. Beat her over the head with
But
it.
anyway, she's listened to a lot of great music, so it's just a matter of time.
Argus is a great album. Do you like Argus as well?
I love Wishbone Ash.
Yeah, but
They're great.
Time Was, Throw Down the Sword. To me, I just listen to it. It's just wonderful.
Well, I'm in the same boat.
I'm surprised you haven't tried them yet. There, Niamh. I'm really surprised.
Well, don't be surprised because I don't listen to them. I haven't listened to them either, to be honest with you. I've never heard Argus.
Really?
I've never heard any of those things. So me and Niamh in the same boat.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm in another boat.
Wishbone
I used
Ash
to
is
have the
another one-
records, but I sold them.
Wishbone Ash is
No.
another one of those bands that here
Yeah.
in North America they weren't represented well.
No, I know, and in the UK as well.
Yeah.
But then, like when Wishbone Ash were around, there were so many bands. You had, you had King Crimson, you had Genesis.
Yeah. I think they were underappreciated,
Procol
but
Harum.
lost in the shuffle because
Yeah.
there was just so much of that stuff going on. You couldn't keep up with it all.
Right, you guys, do you know Barclay James Harvest?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan.
You're not a fan. You don't like Mockingbird by Barclay James Harvest?
Mockingbird?
Yeah, that's a great song.
Okay, I don't know. I might have had I bought a couple of them because they're highly rated, and so back in the day, before you could go on YouTube and listen to stuff, you just had to buy the records, and so I bought them and I listened to it and was like, it's not doing what Camel does or Vandergraaf does for me. It's not grabbing me like that.
No, I can understand that. They're very
But it's very, very popular. A lot of people love it, but it just I'm very picky.
Yeah. I think we all are in our own way.
Yeah,
aren't
I'm
we?
very
Yeah.
picky.
So what's Niamh? What's new with Niamh? What are you looking forward to getting next? What are you into? What's you got
well,
something that you're trying to find? You're
in
going
terms
after?
of vinyl, I'm trying to get a copy of Drama by Yes at the moment, which I've listened to recently and I really loved it. So
Is that hard to find there?
I mean, I've been looking all over Discogs. I can't find a UK copy for.
Really?
Yeah, it's really weird. I've looked. The only ones I can find are on CD.
And
So-
of
Are
course,
your
as
stores-
you know, that's
are your
my
stores
favorite, that's my
closed in the
favorite Yes
UK?
album, Drama.
Yep.
The stores are closed.
Yeah, everything's
Yeah.
shut.
Everything's shut.
But they don't
Yeah,
have
too
curb.
bad.
You can't phone stores, and they do curbside. Out
You
in
see,
the,
where we live,
Not at the moment.
Where we live, nothing's ever been closed. We can always go. We can go anywhere, do anything. Everything's fine. There's not a big. We're not too scared. We're not scared of the germs.
I think it's the 12th of April is when stuff is going to start reopening over here. Is that right? Is it the 12th?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I'm saving all my money for the record stores.
There you go. Watch out. Now, Anthony was saying, and some others were saying, now when you go down, the record store finally opens up. They're only letting so many people in, and then their lines are super long. So
The thing is, there's 2 record stores near where we live, and one of them's like a chain record store called Banquet Records, which is the popular one, and then there's another one which sells like mainly older records that
Right.
I go to, and it's always really, really quiet in there because
very nice.
it's either like older people, and then there's me who comes in it every so often.
Right.
So
That's
that's
the
the
store I'd like to go to myself. Right.
So that's the one you want to go to then. You go in there.
When
and
I went
check it
to Florida at Christmas time, we went to, I don't know, about 7, 8 record stores, and I found a lot of good stuff. And there was, they were quiet. There wasn't a lot of people in them. Mostly it was just me and my cousin were by. We were just looking. I found a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I mean the one that I was talking about that's not Banquet Records, that's not the chain, always has. I always end up buying something from there. They've always got some good stuff in there.
Yeah, the other store is probably good for the new records, but for the used stuff, you can't find. Yeah.
The chain one's more like they do lots of record store day stuff. They have a lot of newer indie bands and stuff like that.
You should send that record to her.
Yeah, I know. We should VCLTA to her. But I gotta admit, this is my favorite Yes album of all time.
Whoa.
But I gotta admit, I get a little bit of a Love Beach vibe to the Inner Gatefold picture. I gotta admit, it's a little bit of a Love Beach vibe going on the Inner Gatefold.
Love Beach.
Especially that.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
my favorite Yes album, but I just keep the gatefold closed.
Your favorite Yes album?
Yes, this is my favorite Yes album, hands down. Drama. It's the one that got me into Yes.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, it is.
I knew Yes. I mean, I liked I liked Roundabout because it was a single here and very popular. And You and I is probably my favorite Yes song. And You and I is my favorite Yes song. But I had never bought a Yes album, even though a lot of my friends were into Yes. I'd never bought a Yes album until Drama came out, and Drama just hooked me. I went to a friend's house, heard it at a friend's house, and it blew me away. And that was it.
Yeah.
And then I went back and started buying their older albums. I think I was not a big fan of John Anderson's voice in the 70s. His voice didn't do anything for me. And of course, the new vocalist, I guess, is what grabbed me. And, I knew the Buggles and whatnot. So I kind of knew where he'd come from. I mean, as time's gone on, I've grown to like John Anderson. But initially, I didn't really care for his voice when I was in the Peter Gabriel camp. Big difference between Peter Gabriel's voice and John Anderson's voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But Peter Gabriel's voice is much more
theatrical.
Exactly.
And I was Genesis all the way. And in my circle of friends, people were kind of like, you like Yes or you like Genesis, but a lot of people didn't like both.
You like Oasis Blur.
Yeah. I never had that problem here. Over here, but all my friends were either like, if you like progressive rock, you like progressive. You like Genesis, you like Yes, you like all those bands, King Crimson, all those bands. That's the thing that I kind of thought was interesting at that point, was that we were very accepting of all of those kind of progressive things. I never had that issue with it being one or the other. I mean, and I never had that issue either. But I never had that problem either with the whole changing of the vocals too. I mean, to be quite honest with you, I almost prefer the Phil Collins era of Genesis over the Peter Gabriel one, to be honest with you.
I look at them as almost like two different bands.
Yeah, they are. But I mean, I think that like Trick of the Tail is one of the best Genesis records I think I have for sure. Like I love that era of them as well. So, it's great stuff. And Drama, I really love that record. That record really turned around in later years. When it first came out, I know a lot of Yes fans weren't too hip on it, but then when this whole transition of the members started happening and stuff like that, a lot of people started getting back into Drama and stuff like that. So it's a great record. I've always loved Drama. Now before
Drama got me into them, and then 90 whatever
125.
9125.
Yeah. And then
Anthony,
I really
hang on.
loved that. I really loved that too.
Hey, Anthony.
So
Hang on.
I had Drama. Go ahead.
Hang on. I just wanted to let you. I have to get going, so I wanted to just say goodbye and let you guys go.
Okay, yeah.
I gotta get going.
Hey, Mark.
Okay?
I'm glad
So
to see you today. Very good, buddy.
Nice to
Take
see
care,
you
guys.
also, Mark.
Have a great week and everything like that.
Thanks, Peter, and thanks, Neil. I'm sure I'll be watching some more of your videos and commenting. So take care. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk soon, Mark.
Bye.
care.
I got some
Bye.
mailers for you, Mark.
Okay, great. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, all right.
Bye.
Bye, Mark.
That's Mark Anthony K, Projekt Gemineye.
So I've had Drama. I had like all the Yes records for a long time, and I bought them all in Japanese vinyl. I had all that stuff, but a lot of them just sat there. I didn't listen to them. There was always Close to the Edge and Not Fragile, and those are the ones that I'm always going back to and listening to all the time. And so Anthony started talking about Drama. So great, it's my favorite, and other folks were so great. So I went through, I found it, I played it like 3 or 4 times. It just, I'm not making the connection on Drama. For me, it's not working. But give me the Yes album.
No, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Or give me Close to the Edge or Not Fragile and That Fragile. Yeah.
There's a few
I
people
love
out in the
those
world
records.
that connect with Tormato, but I
Yeah,
certainly
that's
don't.
not doing it for me either.
It doesn't connect with me at all. But Yes is like that. I mean, like I said, when I was a teenager, Yes just was not connecting with me until Drama came out. Other than the odd song like You and I, Roundabout, but it just wasn't resonating.
I'm
with
still
me.
not tired of Close to the Edge. I'm still not tired of those records yet. I can still listen to them all the time.
Yeah, Drama's my favorite. Close to the Edge is my second favorite. But I wouldn't grow to love Close to the Edge till years after Drama. When would I finally buy my first copy of Close to the Edge?
Well, I like sort of Yes album, Starship Trooper, No Disgrace.
Yeah.
Here's a
love
question.
it.
Here's a question. Good question for you. Let's do a few bands here. For example, Genesis. Niamh's favorite, Peter's favorite. Genesis.
Nursery Crime.
Nursery Crime.
For both of you?
Yeah, that's the first one I heard, and I kind of connected with that one the most.
All right. Yes.
Close to the Edge, my favorite.
The Yes album.
Okay. See. Let's see. King Crimson.
Red.
Red.
Okay. Like father, like daughter.
Yeah,
I don't know if Peter likes Iron Maiden or not. Are you an Iron Maiden person?
I like Iron Maiden, yeah.
All right. So Iron Maiden.
Seven Sun and Seven Sun.
Mine is Power Slave.
Okay. Let's see other bands. Give me another band that you guys are Pink Floyd.
Or Metal.
Animals.
I'm in the Animals.
Both
camp.
good, by the way. Yeah.
But they're both good. I mean, I put Animals
Metal.
first and
To me,
Metal
Metal
second.
is good.
I love metal. I love animals.
Dark Side
I
of the
love-
Moon is kind of down on the list for me.
Yeah,
I like Animals. I like Metal. I like Wish You Were Here. All more than
Dark Side of the Moon is good, but it's just not in the same league as sort of Animals or certainly Wish You Were Here, which I love. But then I like all the early stuff with Syd Barrett as well,
Yeah, I know. I remember when I was a teenager, when Animals came out, it kind of got panned. A lot of my friends, a lot of people I knew, they weren't digging Animals at all. They're like, this isn't Dark Side of the Moon. This is like, there's 3 songs. What is this? It's just like, it's too different from Dark Side of the Moon. Whereas Animals completely grabbed me. I completely got it.
Neamh,
That's my
your
favorite, yeah.
isn't it?
I remember borrowing it from Rin's house.
And I remember, I guess one of the reasons it resonated with me was Animals came out right when I was taking Animal Farm in English class. We were doing Animal Farm in English class in literature. So, you know, it was just like total coincidence that we were studying Animal Farm, the book, and then Animals comes out, which of course is based on Animal Farm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Have you read Animal Farm, Niamh?
Yeah.
I've not read it.
I've read it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was required. Was that required learning? And when you went to school, was it?
Yes, it did. I mean, it's a wonderful book. It's George.
It's one of those books that you had to learn in school. Like Lord of the Flies was another big one when I went to school.
Oh yes, that's another great book. But that's a great book.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But you know, I studied a lot of French, but I was doing studying French at the higher level in England, A level. And I liked a lot of the French authors as well, which probably you'd get being Canadian.
Yeah. We had to take French here in school. It's mandatory until you finish grade 9.
Yeah.
You have to take French. It's not optional to drop it or anything. After grade 10, 11, 12, you can drop French from if you don't want to continue, but it's mandatory to learn here. Even though technically only they say between 5 and 15% of Canadians speak French. And yet we were supposedly this big French speaking country, yet statistically only somewhere between 5 and 15% of the population of Canada actually speak French. It's not like the US where it's, there's like pretty much equal Spanish English going on in the US where
parts of the southern states of the US it's just Spanish speaking, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of Spanish in this US, their second language. And in the UK, do you get a lot? I mean, you're bordering on France and so on. Do you have a lot of French speakers?
There are a lot of French people there, but I mean,
or Spanish.
The thing is, because we're sitting here, I mean, we voted out of the European Union, but we're sitting here in a country where there's loads of people from
everywhere, really.
From everywhere, really. So particularly London.
How do you feel about this whole Brexit thing?
Oh, I hate it.
Like, how do you think the people around you and the majority of people are you disappointed that you left the union, sort of thing?
Yeah.
Are you?
I'm totally, utterly distraught about it. I'm a massive Remainer. I see no reason other than purely fascistic right-wing beliefs that you would leave the European Union.
Why did they leave? What was the main issue?
They left because a few thickos up in the north of England thought that voting Brexit meant you get rid of foreigners.
Yeah.
That's just kind of almost prejudice, no?
Oh, yeah. Without any doubt. There is no doubt about it.
See, we get watered down versions of the news from things from the UK and Brexit and all that. That's it's minor news over here. They don't it's the end of the news broadcast if they mention anything about that.
The thing is that Boris Johnson, the new British government, is like a mini. He's a mini Trump.
He's a wannabe.
Getting the static there, Ron. We're getting the static.
Oh yeah, I had a phone call.
Okay.
He's the wannabe Donald Trump.
Yeah. Well, somebody needs to pass him a comb, first of all. Has he ever combed his hair? My God, he looks like Robert Smith from The Cure.
Who's that?
Donald J. Trump.
Oh, okay.
The Prime Minister of the UK. Ron,
yeah,
you never noticed his hair is just like he's Robert Smith. He's a blonde Robert Smith. I'm telling you.
He's a complete wanker.
Who was your favorite Prime
I was going to
Minister?
go back. I was reading some of the comments, and they're kind of going back to that Pink Floyd stuff. I think The thing that's charming mostly about Animals, I think Gilmore was at his height, and that they let him really play a lot of guitar on that album.
Yeah, that's a
what I
real
really love.
Gilmore influenced album for sure.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm a big Gilmore fan. Of all the members of Floyd, Gilmore is the reason I listen to Floyd.
Oh,
Hey, Simon.
You're second to none.
So when Roger Waters left Floyd, I was actually happy because I wasn't a big fan of the Wall. I thought the Wall was kind of Roger Waters' self-indulgence to a max. And then the final cut was just an absolute mess. I think the final cut is the worst Pink Floyd album ever made. Just an absolute mess. So when Roger Waters left, and I really liked the last couple Floyd albums, you know, Momentary Lapse of Reason and Division Bell, fantastic albums.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a school of opinion over the Wall.
I know. I know. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, you know, like Niamh likes it. I'm not so much like it. For me, you know, it's
yeah,
just,
but like you said, you grew up on the Syd Barrett into Roger Waters era, where I grew up more on, you know, like I said, like you said, Animals, where David Gilmour was becoming more of the dominant force. Certainly bringing Gilmour into the band. The band changed a lot when Gilmour was helming it, for sure.
Mm.
He made them more radio friendly. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Where's your view? What do you guys' view on Jethro Tull?
I love Tull. Love Tull.
What about you, Ron?
Oh, we lost Ron again. He's fixing his connection. Tull, I love Tull. I got into Tull. My first Tull was Thick as a Brick. So, yeah. Which was my favorite until Heavy Horses came along, which then became my new favorite. Heavy Horses and Thick as a Brick are my two favorites.
Yeah.
I do like, Stand Up. I do like Benefit a lot. I'd probably put it in third place for me. Benefit, I like a lot. Aqualung, I don't know, not so much. I'm not a big Aqualung fan. I think
I love Aqualung.
I mean, I like it. I like Aqualung, and I like most of the Tull stuff. Passion Play is a little bit of a hard listen. I find.
You like on Benefit? Do you like the song "To Cry Me a Song"?
I love that whole album. Inside, with you here to help me, with you there to help me.
Really will, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Benefit. I love Benefit. I have a Record Store Day pressing of Benefit that's really, really good.
Oh wow.
What?
Record Store Day pressing of Benefit.
Really?
Yeah.
When's that coming out?
I have it. That came out. Let me show you. It came out in 2012. Record Store Day, I think.
Oh.
Cool.
Let me just pull it for you. Give me a sec, guys. I got it here. Benefit.
Where did that come from?
Give me a second. Jethro Tull. Here's a couple early Jethro Tull Record Store Day pressings. This first one here is Jethro Tull live at Carnegie Hall in 1970. What a fantastic performance. And this is a 2015 Record Store Day pressing.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I've got that.
We don't have that.
I'm sure we got. Oh, not that one. No.
We have a different live one, I think.
Yeah, this is really good. Really, really, really good. Highly recommend. If you can find this, it's not easy to find, but if you can find it, really good. And I can see the Record Store Day.
Oh yeah, I think we should look into that.
Yeah.
Search that one out, and then of course this one, which is absolutely fantastic. It's the only place you can get the Steven Wilson remix of Benefit.
Really? Whoa. That is good.
Steven Wilson's 2013 remix. Only ever released as a Record Store Day of Benefit. So search that one out if you can find it, because it's really, really, really good mix.
Oh man, that's really good.
And that was from 2013. So you might want to try Discogs that, see if you can find that.
Yeah.
2013 because it was never released outside of Record Store Day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, my internet is acting up. I don't know why, but giving me fits today.
uh,
So we're talking about Just Roll Tall. Yeah, that's one of my fat stacks. Yeah, I love Just Roll Tall.
they're a great band. Absolutely great band.
Yeah.
So there's
Now,
one for you guys.
We talk
Where to
about the
find that?
Steve Wilson stuff. Some of the early stuff that Steve Wilson did, it doesn't stack up to the original UK stuff. It's not as good.
There are
But
only
now
three-
when we did Aqualung, he did a really good job on Aqualung. He did a good job on the Aqualung.
There were only three.
The earlier ones I did was not impressed with.
All
But
right.
I think I do have that benefit one on the Record Store Day. I did like that better than the Canadian
the Stephen
press
Wilson
I had.
mix is fantastic. And there's only 3,000 of them pressed.
Benefit that.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
you might want to Discogs that, Niamh.
I'll take a look now.
Only
Yeah,
3,000
good luck.
pressed.
Those things are hard to find. They're an older record now, so.
Yeah, and they're numbered.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, and I love Passion Play too. I don't know if you talked about that.
So yeah, the fantastic mix. I really, really like this mix. Highly recommend, guys.
So what's your favorite Just Roll Tall record, young man?
Aqualung, I think.
Aqualung?
I love Aqualung.
Ron, what's
What?
yours? Aqualung?
I'm going to have a tie with Passion Play and Aqualung.
You like Passion Play?
You don't.
I love it.
That's one that it's a hard listen for me.
Well, here's the thing. When I first bought it, because it came out right after Aqualung, got to have it, right? I listened to it and like, what are they doing on this? So it sat there for years. I never listened to it. And then I'm just like, why am I not listening to this record? What's going on? And I listened to it and listened to it. And the guitar work is so phenomenal on that record. It's so great. I love it now. It's kind of like Close to the Edge. When I first listened to it, it's like, what's going on? So I bought the cassette for my car and I just played it over and over and over again. And then I love it. Like I can't stand, I got to listen to it now all the time.
Yeah.
It's like when I bought my first Vandergraaf Generator record, I didn't understand it either. But I said, I do like it, but I don't quite get it. What's going on? And then the more I listened to it, the more I liked it. So it's always the records that you don't quite get at the beginning.
Yeah, you got that.
That's great, huh?
Oh, fantastic.
Great stuff.
I got the MoFi of that one.
That's the Thick as a Brick 2 box,
Yeah, we know.
which actually goes for a pretty penny now. So hang on to that because they are going. They're actually worth a fair amount now. Yeah, Thick as a Brick was my introduction to Tall, so it will always. I think most people can agree that whatever album brings you into a group tends to always end up being your favorite album by that group.
Of course, because that's the instantaneous reaction you get from it.
Exactly. So I think whatever album brought you into a band is going to always be your number one. Thick as a Brick brought me into Tall, so. But the next one that I would fall in love with after Thick as a Brick would be Heavy Horses.
Yeah, I don't know that album all that well.
Really? From 70, I'm thinking 77, after Songs from the Wood.
Right.
It was part of that trilogy because there was a trilogy. Songs from the Wood, Heavy Horses, Stormwatch. They were actually a trilogy of albums.
But
Lost Ron again. He's having internet problems today. How you doing? Have you found a copy of that Benefit there, Niamh?
Yeah, I did. They're only available in the US, and there's one that's in euros here in Austria.
Austria would be
They are
closer.
pretty pricey.
Yeah,
There's
what do
only
they want
one
for them?
available. So there's a couple that are under £50, but there's one that's for £70. One
I'm
for
trying to
six.
think what that is in Canadian money. I think you guys are almost double or 1.5 times the Canadian dollar, or
yeah,
2 times, 1.5.
but these are all in US, aren't they? Those aren't in sterling; they're in US dollars.
What's the conversion from US to British pounds?
130, about 130.
So one pound 30 to, or what? No, one
$1.30 to the pound.
Okay. Yeah, whereas here in Canada right now, we're at like $1.40 Canadian to a US dollar. So it's brutal. It's brutal for Canada. Buying anything from a US Discog seller, I just don't even bother right now because the conversion is horrid.
Oh, it is. It really is. But that's certainly one album. Thank you so much, Anthony. That's one album we were thinking of getting.
Ah, yeah, I would. It's really worth it. It's a really good mix.
Yeah, and this is mixed.
I'm just surprised that he did it and then he just kept it as a Record Store Day thing.
Yeah.
But then again, they did that with the McCartney this Record Store Day, right? The McCartney album, the Abbey Road Half Speed Master, only a Record Store Day drop, not released outside of that.
Yeah.
I think
when Record Store Days actually had good things on Record Store Day, because I find that the last year or so of Record Store Days, there's a lot of live albums. There, there's a lot of stuff that's not really the best coming out. They're not doing stuff like this. I haven't seen stuff like this in years. Like, these sort of kind of mixes with studio albums. Like last year, I looked at all my Record Store Day purchases, and 3/4 of them or more were all live albums that were probably, bootlegs at some point, or, tapes that were sitting in some vault somewhere.
Yeah. And there was a Jethro Tull live album, I think, that came out on the store day that we got.
I've got a Jethro Tull album, which is a live recording of their concert at the Isle of Wight Festival in '69.
Yes, that's another popular, the Isle of Wight. Yes, I've seen that. I think that's been pressed a couple times, has it not?
Yeah,
I think so.
And of course, there's one of my favorite Tull songs is not on any album, "Sweet Dream," which was made in the '60s. Do you know this?
But wasn't it packaged on Living in the Past?
Could have been. I think it probably is.
Yeah, I think it was packaged at a later date on Living in the Past.
Really is a great song. Anthony, I think we're going to go because...
Yeah, you're getting on to, what time? It's 6 o'clock here. That's about your normal time. You're 11 o'clock over there?
We're 10 at the moment.
Oh, yeah, 10. So you guys don't have daylight saving time, or?
We do, but that's not till next week.
I see. We changed last week.
Oh, that's right. It's the hour earlier.
So you're here now at 6 o'clock. So you're only 4 hours ahead
now. 10 o'clock. So it's like we've gone from 5-hour difference to 4-hour difference.
Yeah, but you'll catch up to us. You'll catch up to us again.
We'll be back to 5 hours again.
Here in Canada, the government is talking about the possibility of making daylight saving time permanent. Like not bothering going back in the winter.
Yeah.
They're tossing around that idea.
Yeah, probably a good idea, really.
Yeah, I remember those.
I think most people prefer light at the end of the day than at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
Because when they go back to regular time, I mean, in the winter here, it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's dark.
Yeah, same here as well.
Yeah, because you guys are almost like the same. What is it? Latitude, longitude, something. One of the latitude. Britain's kind of straight across the ocean from Canada, from Toronto here. Well, it's nice to see you guys again.
Nice to see you,
Anthony. I shall. Well, we're going to do this in 2 weeks or what?
Yeah, yep. I'm here every 2 weeks at this time. So I love to have you guys make a regular deal. I love it. It's great.
That'll be great. Yeah.
Lovely.
All right
then, Anthony. Have a good day, and
yeah, you guys too. Have a good evening. Nice to see you, Niamh. Nice to see you, Peter. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks, and I'll see you on your channel there, Niamh, when you're doing your thing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll talk in the DMs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Nice to see you, Peter, as always.
And you. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Cheers. Regards. There you go, Niamh, the Prog Nerd. And I don't know if we're going to get Ron back. Hopefully Ron comes back. Niamh, the Prog Nerd, Ron Beaudry, Mark Anthony K, all dropping by the stream today. Anybody wants to come up, I will post the link because I haven't posted it in a long time. I guess I should do that for anybody that's out there. Invite, copy to clipboard, and Post comment. There you go. Links out there for anybody that wants to come up. Vinyl Dale, nice to see you, Vinyl Dale. The Tall Christmas album, hard to find. Dave the Pickup Artist, yes, only on CD. One of my favorite Christmas albums of all time is the Tall Christmas album. I think it's the last great Tall album. And it was early 2000s. And I wish that it would be one I'd love to see get dropped on, say, Record Store Day. And they could do a Record Store Day release of the Tall Christmas album, because it's only ever been released on CD. It's not on vinyl. They released a 10-inch a few years ago, a 10-inch EP that had a couple songs from the Tall Christmas album, but just like two or three songs from the Tall Christmas album. But that's an album that they need to release. It would have to be a double album because it's a long CD. But definitely would love to see the Tall Christmas album pressed properly on vinyl. Let's see. Passion Play reminds me of Ogden's Nut Gone. There was a rumor about a new Tall album. I haven't heard that rumor. I mean, anything's possible. Ian Anderson can, he's not done yet. What did I miss? I saw Newcastle get smashed by Brighton. I'm so sad and angry. Christopher, are you from the UK? I didn't know that. Are you from the UK, Christopher? For some reason, I thought you were in there, like on this side of the pond. And there's Rob Walker in the chat. Hey, Rob Walker, how you doing? Let's see what else is going in our chat. Animals. Looks like Rob's just coming in now. I was timed out at Paulcasts. Uh-oh. What'd you do? What'd you do, Randy? You're welcome to come up here, Randy. Oh, that's right. Paulcast's sneaking a stream in during my streaming time, isn't he? That's right. I chose this particular time to stream every other Saturday because I found that there was nobody really streaming at this time normally. But I think I had some competition today. Not that it matters anyhow. Yeah, I thought you were like some. No, yeah, that's right. You're Sweden. I was thinking you're this side of the pond, but that's right. You're Sweden. So I know she's doing crazy number of views on videos now. She hit a 100,000 views on one of her videos this week. Absolutely incredible. I guess Prog is not dead. She's reaching some sort of audience, but yeah, 100,000 views on a video. Wow. I don't know if there's anybody in the VC, even some of the big heavy hitters that have been around for years and years, Channel 33, whatever, RPM, some of those big heavy hitters. I don't think I've ever seen 100,000 views on anybody's video. So that is, congratulations to Niamh on pulling that off. But how do yeah, exactly. I celebrate when I get 1,000 views. My videos average probably, I don't know, 200 to 400 views, and I'm happy with that. I've only been in the VC a year. I'm happy with that. Record Store Day videos always do well. My Record Store Day videos blew up like crazy, 3,000, 4,000 views. I've had the odd video. I got one video that's done like 7,000 views. But yeah, 100,000 views. That's just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So soccer's is it soccer, or I guess you guys call it foot? I got 2K on one. That shocked me. I know it shocked me when I got I look at my video, the one video from my channel, and it's still to this day gets views. Every single day I get views on that. And it was one of my earliest videos. It was from like last March now. maybe April, last April, March or April. It's almost a year ago. And it still to this day gets views every single day. And that is my band and Rare Records video. I don't know what's so special about that video. It's not my best work. I was still kind of new making videos then, but it's got a crazy, crazy, crazy amount of views. I don't know why it's so popular, and it still gets views every single day. And it's like, I think it's around 7,000 views or something now. It's nuts. Yeah, that's right. It's football. It's just the North America calls it soccer because they have a different type of football here. But then again, we have there's American football and Canadian football. And American and Canadian football are different. The rules are different. The pigskin, as they call it, the football looks the same, but Canadian football and American football have completely different rules. Other than scoring a touchdown, there's a lot of differences. But of course, yeah, we call it soccer here because we couldn't call it football. Anthony, check out S.G. Lewis, his debut Times album. He wrote a song for Dua Lipa's It's Dance Pop, I'm a Fan. Who's S.G. Lewis? I don't know the artist. Yeah, American football is more like rugby. Yeah, Canadian football is pretty watered down compared to American football. Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do get in trouble if you walk into a pub in the UK and say soccer. You probably get socked in the face. Yeah, soccer. Carson Tucker, I saw Tall, Thick as a Brick box still available on Acoustic Sounds website for $90. Yeah, that's about what it goes for. But on Discogs, they go way higher. So if you can still find a copy of that Tall box, Thick as a Brick box set, grab it because there's not many left. It's out of print. So what ones are still in stores at the $90, which was, I think, around the original price of it. Grab them. But because, yeah, that box set on Discogs now is $150, $200, something like that. S.G. Lewis. I don't know S.G. Lewis. Where's that artist from? What sort of artist is that? Is that a singer-songwriter? What's the artist? Producer, DJ, etc. Okay, I'll look him up. I don't know. I haven't heard of him here. Maybe he's not made it across the big pond yet to Canada. What did we think of the Rachel interview today? I got completely lost listening to it. I had just woken up. Too much for my brain matter. I love Rachel. She knows that. I'm not going to knock the interview. But it was really deep, I found. Really, really deep. And like I said, I had just woken up, turned it on, and I was lost. I was lost. It reminded me of being in school in my history class. And I had always sit in the back of the classroom for history class because I just found the lectures that the teacher lecturing I would just get lost in the lecture and just pass out. So when I woke up and tuned into Rachel on Stephen Schnee's show, they were in some deep conversation and I got completely lost. It was hard to comprehend it. It got very deep, and it was great that she was able to open up. Yeah, all the power to her and all that. But unfortunately, I got really lost listening to it, and I didn't hear Stephen really ask too many questions. He'd ask one question, and then she'd go on for quite a while about it, and it was kind of the majority of the interview. Mind you, I tuned in really late on the interview, so I don't know what the rest of the interview was about. Just it seemed to be the interview, from what I saw, was kind of all about one topic. And it wasn't until the very, very end when they went into overtime that they kind of talked about something else, like her streaming channel and so on. But I'd have to rewatch the earlier part of the interview. But it was definitely not an interview for somebody that's not got all their brain matter functioning yet early in the day. Too deep for me. But great for Rachel for doing it. Fantastic for Rachel for doing it. How many other people here saw the interview earlier today? I know Rob, I think Rob Walker was there, or was he? I can't remember. Anybody wants to come up, feel free to come up. I will hang out for another, if nobody comes up, I'll hang out for another 15 minutes or so. If somebody comes up, then I'll keep it going longer. But it's hard to do a stream on your own, unless people are asking lots of questions. Let's see, Rob Walker. He's a synth pop, etc. Check out the track One More, a collaboration with Nile Rodgers. Okay, I know who Nile Rodgers is. Okay, S.G. Lewis. I'll check it out after the stream. I kept asking in the chat what her second favorite band is, and I didn't get it answered. Well, we know what Rachel's two favorite bands are: the Beatles and Yes. As far as I know, it's Beatles first and Yes second. Yeah, Progner was here. She was here for quite a while. And it's always nice having her and her dad. Her dad's a great guy, Peter. I got chat here, private chat. I don't know if that's really Invisible Ray. He wouldn't have spoke to me like that in the private chat. If I can't see your face, you can't come on. No avatars allowed to come on cam. I have an Invisible Ray supposedly backstage, but Invisible Ray, the chat was a certain 4-letter word face let me on. So I somehow doubt that was Invisible Ray. But yeah, rule, if you want to come up on my stream, you got to show your face in the backstage first. I will not bring an avatar up on screen. I'm much wiser than that, people. I'm much wiser than to let an avatar up on screen, especially when that avatar has not been saying anything in the chat previously. Kind of suspicious, huh? Kind of suspicious. I didn't fall off the turnip truck yesterday. I was on camera with Ray this morning. Well, if Ray was here, he'd be speaking up in the chat, but he's not. So I don't know. I better play it. I'd rather play it safe than sorry. But that's just my rule on my stream. If you want to come on the cam, you got to show your face. That's how we keep from getting miscellaneous body parts on stream, or trolls, or the like. Let's see who's there. Jorgen. Here's Jorgen. There's a face I know. Hello, Jorgen.
Good morning, Ray Anthony.
Good evening for me. Good morning to you.
I think it is the vice versa. Here is 11:15.
Ray says he's blocked. I've never blocked Invisible Ray, so if he's saying he's blocked, he's somebody else that I probably blocked. The only people I've ever blocked on my stream are trolls. So if he says I'm blocked on my stream, he just messaged and said I'm blocked. If you're blocked on my live chat, it means you're a troll. You were a troll in the past, because I know I've never blocked the real Invisible Ray.
Here is 45 minutes to midnight.
Yeah. What? Where you are is what?
In Sweden.
You're late.
Yeah, it's
45
minutes to midnight. Hi, Rob.
You're what, 6 hours ahead of me? No, something like that. Now, what time are you there? Almost midnight.
Yeah, 15 minutes over 11.
Okay, yeah. So you're 11 and I'm 6. You're 5 hours ahead. You don't go on daylight saving time yet, right?
Saving times.
Do you have daylight saving time where you are?
I don't know what that is.
Where they shift the clock by 1 hour in the spring and the
Oh
fall?
yeah.
What do you call it?
We call it wintertid, wintertime, or summertime. We have that, yes, but it isn't a couple of, I think, a month away.
Yeah, I know, because I just had Niamh on, and she was saying that Peter and Niamh were saying that it's a couple weeks away for them. Ours just here in Canada, we changed last weekend. So.
We just call it summertime or wintertime, depending on when it is, on the autumn or summer or spring. But it's confusing to keep touch. Lucky I have parents who call me and say that have you switched the clock forward or backwards? Because I never keeping check on when it is.
So what's new with you, Jorgen?
I listened to this just recently.
What is that you're looking at? I see a pretty looking girl. What's
This
that?
is Sherelle.
Sherelle, I don't know the artist.
Sherelle is an American soul artist from the 80s.
American soul from the 80s. Don't recognize her.
Wasn't all that big. The positive thing is that it's produced by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. It always is a proof of great soul production. The negative thing is that it's one of these that I really hate when I'm trying to do so much to make it sound funky that you forget about the melodies. if you're putting most energy in the production, in the funk, and then when you're going to do a melody, it's a mishmash of mixes and everything that you hardly any kind of melody.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of disappointment, and so it might overmixed, definitely. So too bad, because I love Jam and Lewis, but this was not one of their best when it comes to melodies, unfortunately. So I'm not sure it will survive the culling.
The culling. And what do you do? What do you do with records in your culling that don't make the cut?
I do.
Do you discogs them? Do you just trade them at the local record store? Do they hit the garbage can? What happens to the ones that don't make the culling?
Usually, earlier I had given them away to a thrift store, but now I'm thinking about doing something, selling them in some form. But I'm not selling them online because it's shipping costings that are way too expensive. So during COVID time, I don't know what to do. I save them in the basement for now, in the cellar, until COVID is over, and then see if I can sell them in some record fair or something like that. So
do you do record fairs? Do you have a booth at record fairs? Do you do that, or are you a shopper, or are you a buy and seller?
It's my definitely first time selling. I'm a buyer, but once a year I'm going through my collection and removed stuff that I not that interested in, that wasn't all that good as I thought, or so I feel like I won't be listening to this pretty much more. It's good to do for space.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
We need to have more space.
I'm running out of space, I'm at the point too where my collection is probably a little bit past where I want it to be, and I need to maybe one bin, you know what I mean? A bin's about 50 records. Yeah. If I did maybe one bin and sold off maybe a bin worth of records to make room.
So the culling has been pretty much a savior for me when it comes to places, actually. So I can get more space, but I'm pretty much aware of it. Comes one day when I, besides from the newly bought stuff that I most likely that wasn't all that good, that there comes a day when I know that now this is what I want. I can't cull anymore, but I take that day when it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christopher, I promise to give you all my heavy psyche if I found one. And if I found one, I'd be pretty surprised.
So where you are, is it easy to go record shopping right now? Are you guys in any sort of quarantine, any sort of lockdown, anything going on there in Sweden? Can you go to any record store anytime and all that jazz?
Yeah, we in my city I have only one record store, so it's pretty easy. But I was in there
and
today.
how is that record store? Is it a good record store? Are you happy with it? Do you find everything you want there, or?
I'm very satisfied because it's a very much great service of the owner. He's a great guy and great to talk with, and I like it. A little overpriced in some stuff that I consider very much flea market stuff, dollar bin stuff. But I'm very satisfied. I usually find the stuff there every time I go there. So
and how often do you go?
I don't want to go there too often because one, risk that I overbuy myself, or two, I want to see new stuff. So it usually is sometimes every third week or something like that. That is correct, Christopher. 80 stuff I can find everywhere. But depends on which 80 stuff you're talking about. There are commercial 80 stuff, and there are more stuff that wasn't all that big in Sweden. Those I can't find everywhere. But then I will be also. I also go during these COVID times. I have had the same 3-4 places I can go to. It's 2 or 3 stores and our record store, the new Stallet. Those are the places. They have of course, no record fairs. I can't go. I haven't gone to any kind of travels to cities or something, other cities or something like that. So I haven't been stuck pretty much with the same places. But I haven't been all that. Haven't been all that bad. I have managed to find pretty okay stuff during the year, but it's still sad that I can't see new places every now and then.
And do you shop? Do you do much shopping online? Do you do Discogs? Do you do eBay? Do you?
I don't, because
Amazon. Do you guys have Amazon in Sweden?
We're newly opened, but I don't buy online, mostly because I don't feel I don't have the possibility to pay online, and I also have very little faith in many sellers. I'm a little careful because I read so many that being fooled by con artists and so on, and a lot of stuff that I'm a little bit careful. I want the feeling to dig and be able to find what I'm looking for on play. So I think that is a part of the record collecting, actually. So I feel much more better if I can go dig through a bin instead.
Yeah, I mean, we all like digging through bins, but for the last year, digging through bins hasn't been here in Toronto. We were able to dig through bins briefly in the summer, and then we got locked down in the fall. And just a week ago, we're able to dig through bins again now as of a week ago, but it's limited to, like, the store I go to, 6 people in the store maximum, including the owner. So,
yeah. I think the record store that we have as the maximum 5.
and it makes us put the sanitizer on the minute we walk in the door.
I always have gloves.
Yeah, I just wear gloves. I have like rubber gloves.
No, I have working gloves, ordinary gloves.
I found gloves because some people like they use the surgical glove things, whatever they are. A lot of people use those disposable gloves. I found these gloves on Amazon, and they're actually gloves that hair technicians use when they're dyeing people's hair. They're for hairdressers. They're like a rubber glove, but they're not like the rubber gloves that you have when you wash your dishes or whatever. They're much lighter, and they're like these black rubber gloves, and I wear those when I go grocery shopping or anywhere I'm out and I got to touch, because then I can use the sanitizer on them and just wipe them down. And I bought a pair. I bought a pack of those. There was like 5 in the pack or something. I haven't even worn out the first pack in the last year, so better than the disposable gloves everywhere.
But I managed to go to at times when it isn't normally. Today it was unfortunately pretty much, but normally I go to places normally when I go normally when it's not all that much. So I've been pretty lucky. Hank,
Yeah, I don't even go to a store. I don't go on weekends or whatnot. If I go to my local record store now, that I mean, he's only been open a week, so. But I would go like in the middle of the day when there's like nobody there anyhow. The times I go, I don't have to worry about the 6 people in the store real because I know when he's busy and when he's not, so I can go in there and be the only one in the store and now much more comfortable that way.
Hank Anahara is also onto something. You mentioned Ginza, which is a Swedish web shop, and that is the only place I shop online because there I can get the bill and pay later. And I can I shop from Ginza. That's the only web shop I do.
Yeah, I'm not big on the only time I go on Discogs is if it's something I'm trying to fill in holes in a collection, and I know my local store. I know what he gets. I'm not going to drive. I'm not going to drive to downtown Toronto. That takes me about half an hour, and then pay $20 for parking because anywhere you go to downtown Toronto, you get screwed for parking charges. I'm not going to go, do that to dig through a bin and add the gas and fuel and time costs because you're not really getting a bargain then if you got to pay $20 for your freaking parking, So I prefer just to go to my local guy. He's 15 minutes away. He's got most of the stuff I need. If I can't find it from him, I'd rather just go on Discogs. And I'm very careful on Discogs. I mean, I've gotten burned a couple times on Discogs, not badly, but annoyingly.
I actually have a Discogs account, but I only have it for one reason, and that was a project that I had to put up a database over my genres that I don't have all that much with. If I'm going to do it, I already have a database on Access, but if I'm going to sit and do it once again on Discogs, I may be full retired before I get done with it. So it's way too much. But those genres that I haven't all that much with, but that I do like, I put up on Discogs. So I started with my 70s singles collection, but it actually stopped. So I don't do Discogs all that much, but I do have an account.
Yeah, I don't do it. I could probably go into my Discogs purchase list and look at the last year, and I probably bought less than 20 albums in the entire year. Probably less than 10. I don't know. I bought like 4 in the last week. I bought 4 last week. Boom, 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 4 in a row to fill in holes in one of my collections. And that was the first time I bought anything on Discogs since probably last November or something. So I rarely do it, but I research the seller a lot before I'll buy from him. Like I look at his ratings and I'll read through the comments and I'll go back a few months through people's comments and before I even consider buying from somebody. And I'll only buy from people within Canada now. It's just not worth buying outside of Canada. The import fees alone and the screwed up mail because of the pandemic. The mail service outside of the country is a disaster. Even in Canada, it's a little bit slow. So it's just not worth it. Like I know in Canada, you're going to pay $15 on top of whatever you pay to get an album mailed to you. Because that's what it costs. Because I mail records. That's what it costs on Canada Post to mail a record, about $15. So when I see people posting on shipping from Canada and asking for $20, $25 for shipping, I know he's grabbing some cash for himself because, I know what it costs. So I avoid those guys that are obviously gouging or inflating the shipping costs so they can make some extra money, Yeah. But buying from, UK or Germany, I used to a long time ago, but it's just too expensive. I'll buy an album that's $10, but they want $30 or $35 to ship from Germany. It's just like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Discogs works very good as some kind of a dictionary over records to see what I.
Yeah, my entire collection is cataloged on Discogs, and it's good for my insurance company because my insurance company will use my Discogs database as a source of what I had, and it's good for giving a rough estimate value of what you had when if your house burns down. My insurance company will accept the Discogs database. So, and a lot of insurance companies are starting to accept that Discogs database. And I tell people, go to my Discogs, the same as my channel name, AGK's Vinyl Life on Discogs.
Yeah.
But there's underscores between the words because you can't have spaces for some reason on Discogs.
I read a lot from people who sell on Facebook, and a lot of many stories about how they have been screwed by some guy who has got.
I rarely even use Facebook, so I would never bother.
Oh, I'm a little bit careful.
And I got burned. I got burned many times, both as a buyer and a seller on eBay. I don't even go near eBay anymore. I don't touch eBay.
eBay, I think, is pretty much overpriced with this.
Yeah,
stuff.
eBay, everything's overpriced, and eBay. I got screwed by eBay by a guy, and eBay. This guy was a big guy. He had been in the business years and years and years, and eBay took his side of the story over mine, even though his side was total bullshit, and favored him, and I lost a $60 record album, $60 that was paid to me for that album, the album, and the shipping costs that I paid to send it to him. So in the end, I lost about $100 and some odd dollars, plus, in cash, plus the album, because he said he never got the album, and I'd sent it to Germany, and he said he never received the album that I had tracking on that showed it had been delivered. And he said, well, it was obviously delivered to the wrong address. And because this guy was a big guy with a big, huge, he has like a massive collection. I had like 20 things for sale on eBay. This guy had thousands and thousands. You know what I mean? Yeah. So obviously they sided with him over me because, eBay makes money on every sale you do. So obviously they sided with him because he's bringing them more money than I am. All right. It was ridiculous. He said he never got it, even though my tracking showed it was delivered. He said it obviously got delivered to the wrong place. He wanted a refund. eBay backed him, gave him the refund. So I lost the money. I lost the album. I lost the shipping, lost everything. And then he blocked me, which was really strange. Then he blocked me. And so I went on as a guest onto eBay as a guest. And the album that I sold him was listed on his eBay.
Serious.
He bought it on me to flip it. He bought it off me to flip it.
Actually,
so that was the last straw. And after that affair, I never went back to eBay.
Yeah. Well, when I worked at different kind of thrift stores, I worked at with the record part, the record departments. We got in different kind of more expensive records, and I did my usual check on several channels. We have Swedish Tradera, Discogs, and also eBay to see what it actually was worth. And eBay was always the least believable when it came to what it was worth, because it was so incredible overpriced.
Yeah. See, at least with Discogs, is everybody that sells on Discogs kind of has to go reasonably within what, has to be between that median and maximum or whatever of, because there's references to what these records are worth. So, a guy can't take a $20 album and ask for $50 for it, because you got to go with the median price. So I don't buy anything that's much over the median on Discogs. So if there's something I want to buy and the median is $10, I'll be willing to go maybe, the median's 10 and the maximum's 50. I'll be maybe willing to go 10, 15, $15 maybe. And that's it. If it's beyond that, then the guy's scooping the money.
I got a question up there from someone who asked me and Christopher about Swedish singer Kjell Höglund, whether we liked him or not. And I'm not a huge fan of Kjell Höglund. Yeah, most likely is Christopher difference.
I'm just grabbing myself some liquid. I get a little bit dry mouth there.
So what have you been listening to lately?
What have I been listening to lately? What was the last thing I listened to? I've been listening to a lot of Dream Theater, because I got a box set thing of 10 CDs of Dream Theater. So And every Dream Theater album is like an hour and a quarter long. So I've been working my way through them. I just listened to Pretty Reckless the other day, and that's a fantastic album. What am I listening to? I've got a Club Dua Lipa that I have to open that finally arrived. I got to listen to that. I got some pop to listen to, a bunch of pop. I've got Ava Max. That's brand new sealed. And I've been listening to the Ventures because I'm about to do a Ventures video for my channel. So that was the one that the group that I was filling holes in my collection with, because I have 20 odd Ventures albums. So I decided to finally go out there and fill in some holes, and got about over a half a dozen, maybe 6 or 7 Ventures holes filled in my collection. So I'll probably film that video this week. It'll go up on my channel this week. I'm going to have a look at the Ventures. Great band from the 60s, 70s. They were the masters of doing instrumental cover songs. They really were.
To be honest, it's more actually my father's favorites than mine. But I actually think that Ava Max have done some songs actually recently that's been
good album. Yeah, that Ava Max album. It's good pop, good synth pop, whatever you want to call it. Euro pop, dance pop.
OMG song is actually really, really good. OMG, what have you done to me? I think it's called.
Yeah, there's and I'm a little annoyed because I bought an Urban Outfitters exclusive version of it, and these numbnuts at Urban Outfitters sent it to me. I like Urban Outfitters pressings because they do go up really fast in value. So I picked this up.
Yeah.
Because it was the orange vinyl version, matches her hair, because it comes out in a couple colors. I think there's a blue one, and then the Urban Outfitters, which is more rare. I went for the rarer one, which is an orange. But so I ordered it from Urban Outfitters online, and of course they put this big shipping sticker on it.
Mm.
They put this big ass shipping sticker on it that doesn't peel off. And that's not a big deal, you know, if I have to cut the plastic to get it off. But the problem is they stuck it on the hype sticker. So they ruined my hype sticker with this fucking label, because if I try to peel it, it's going to peel and wreck the hype sticker. And I like to keep my hype stickers, you know. I like to have my hype stickers. Look at this thing. Look how big it is.
You can keep yourself from laughing.
You're like, why didn't they stick it on the back or something? Why did they have to stick it on the front? This big shipping label thing, and it's not appealable, you know. It's not peelable glue. It's on there forever, you know. I gotta lose the shrink wrap on this record. I try to keep the shrink.
Then you get
but yeah, she's definitely up and coming. This album is done very well. She's gonna be another big pop artist in the next few years, up there with Dua Lipa and all the other ones.
Actually, it's one artist that I think has
a lot of people compare her to kind of Lady Gaga a little bit too.
I only know 2 or 3 songs with Lady Gaga that actually is good. So I think in that case I've heard more great songs from Ava Max in that case.
But synth pop and dance pop, Euro pop, all that stuff, it's getting big again. It's getting very big. The last couple of years, it started to like blow up again. Blowing up. Dua Lipa, Kylie Minogue, they've all released mega albums in the last couple of years that just blew up.
But Kylie Minogue has been releasing that kind of albums for 20 years now. So.
Exactly, but her albums for the last few years, her albums kind of did kind of and then the one she released in November blew up and just soared through the charts. Because now that music is getting, you know, because of people like Dua Lipa and whatnot, the music's big again.
I have to say that the songs that she released lately from the latest album, I think is some of her best albums that she has released in many years. Real Groove.
Kylie. Yeah, I think the last album, her new album, Disco, fantastic album. I
really like the Real Groove song, the original. Not the mix.
Yeah, because her album before that was Golden, which was that country music kind of thing that she did, which I didn't mind, but it really caught only a very small niche audience.
Felt a little like a walk back to that 90s indie album she made in 98.
Because I think the last big one that kind of blew up like Disco has done really well, but I think the last album to do really well like Disco was what was it, Fever, the one with Can't Get You Out of My Head, that from around 2000, 1999, 2000, somewhere like that.
Body Language was pretty big too, if I'm not wrong. The album after that.
Yeah. She was kind of hot in that era. Then she cooled off, and now she's blown up again.
But there's one artist actually that I do like very much that have been popping up with some really great songs that amaze me, and that is Jessie Ware. If you know who that is.
No, I don't know the name.
She is also a little in maybe not Ava Max, but a little bit more of a little same young girl style, but also very mixing. Her latest single, Remember Where You Are, is very much soul gospel touch over it, but singles before that was more of dance tracks. So she moves pretty much everywhere, but I think really, really great.
And I just finished filling in all the holes in because they did a big mass reissue of all of Mariah Carey's albums on vinyl, most of them for the first time, because most of her stuff was on CD. And I picked up most of them in the last 3 months. I've now got all of them. I think I'm only missing one album by her, and that was that Glitter soundtrack thing that she did.
I actually love Mariah Carey until during the 90s. After the 90s, she became too much hip hop for me.
Yeah, but then I kind of agree. I mean, I like all her albums, and I wanted to be a completist and have them all. I'm not a super big fan of the 2000s material, but the one from a few years ago, I Am Mariah, damn, that's a good album. Really, really good. I think it's my favorite. Really good album. And what else have I got? I've got some more pop stuff. Of course, Ava Max, that's waiting to be spun. I got this one. I couldn't argue with this one. Let me see. I'm just going through my stuff that's been waiting to play. That's metal. This was just re-released recently, and I grabbed this. This was remastered and reissued on by Rhino on a light blue vinyl, and it's all been remastered.
Yeah, I have that one in the original.
Yeah, the original. Yeah, and so they just remastered it, so I jumped on the remaster. A classic, Sheila E., The Glamorous Life. So all nicely remastered. Who did the remastering on this? I got to look here. Remastered. I guess I have to open it, find out who did the remastering. But a nice reissue from Rhino. Sheila E.
I can't find it right now, but I think it is. I think it is in the. I have a huge stack of records that I haven't been listening to yet, unfortunately, and I think that one is among them. But there are some really great tracks that I do like. The title track is really, really good, and that A Love Bizarre is also great.
This was my very latest pickup. Just arrived yesterday. Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell, Ronnie James Dio's first venture with the band, and this is tied for my favorite Black Sabbath album of all time. And this is the brand new 2021 complete remaster with a bonus disc of live material on it. So this just arrived yesterday, and I'm really looking forward to hearing that.
I'm going to admit that Black Sabbath that is a little bit over the top. I'm no metal
Well,
fan.
I know Jorgen's. I didn't think you are. You're more of the pop vein, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yeah, but I do like Deep Purple. I do like Gary Moore, and do like that. Those are the three heavy metal band that I do like, but I've never been a fan of Black
Gary,
Sabbath.
did you say Gary Moore?
Gary Moore, yes.
Oh, you're a big Gary Moore fan, huh?
Yeah,
Wow.
I have most of his at least famous 80s records. Yeah, I think he's an amazing guitar player and amazing songs.
Yes.
Empty Rooms, a fantastic song. I do definitely love.
Breezy and Walkaways with Phil
Yeah,
in it.
definitely a great one. I'm looking up here. Hold on a bit.
Yeah, I've got quite a few Gary Moore albums myself. Great guitarist. Yes, Christopher, Tool are great, but I'll admit Tool on vinyl are horrid. I've got 3 Tool albums on vinyl, and all of them are horrid pressings. They use a crappy pressing company for their material, which is really a shame because Tool, being such a big band, are using one of the worst pressing plants in the world. And I've got 3 different Tool releases, all pressed up from that pressing plant, and they're just horrid. Clicks and pops and distortion and just sad for a band of that nature. Now here we have Gary Moore. Which one is that? Oh, Platinum Collection.
3 CD box sets that I found for $250 round.
Ooh, that's nice.
Nice. CD1 is his rock years in the 80s. CD2 is his blues years in the 90s, and CD3 is a live CD.
Very nice, very nice.
So I think this one is the pride of my Gary Moore collection.
What other Gary Moore? I'll pull a couple of my Gary Moore albums. Let's see what I have from Gary here. Give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna pull some Gary Moore out. Grab some Gary Moore. Here's some Gary Moore. A little more Gary Moore coming. Hold on. You're right there. Getting some Gary. Getting some Gary. More. And one more Gary Moore. All right, I grabbed a few Gary Moores here. I grabbed some of my favorite Gary Moores. Besides, of course, his work with Thin Lizzy and the fantastic Black Rose album that Gary Moore did with Thin Lizzy, which is an absolute classic. Here's Gary Moore's 1973 album.
Wow.
This is a music on vinyl reissue. Sounds beautiful. This is Gary Moore. Is this a self-titled? I can't remember. What was it? The Gary Moore band, Grinding Stone.
A little cheesy cover, I must have.
Yeah, Gary Moore. But a great album.
Yeah.
One. Then I have Gary Moore's Back on the Street. Back on the Streets. I'll just pull this out of the sleeve. Back on the Streets. This is just before he went to Thin Lizzy to do Black Rose.
Yeah, this is Back on the Streets also, a kind of reissue.
Yeah, that's the other cover. Yeah, there were two different covers for Back on the Streets. There are two different covers.
This one I think I paid only around also $250.
I'm pretty sure the same track listing, right? Back on the Streets, Song for Donna. What would you rather be, a bee or a wasp? Fanatical Fascists, Spanish Guitar, Don't Believe a Word, which was a Thin Lizzy song, Flight of the Snow Moose, Hurricane, and Parisian Walkaways.
That Spanish song is missing here, and it's it's definitely
Spanish guitar is not on that one.
No, and it's definitely a total different track list. A total order in the tracks. Here it is.
Now, is that a North American pressing or is that a UK?
Manufactured in Germany.
Yeah, so you've got, so this is the American version of, this is the North American version of that album, where they obviously added a couple songs, changed the cover art.
And then this is a total other different
Yeah, you've got the original cover art for sure.
Yeah.
This is the North American version, because they
a
lot of groups had albums that were altered for North American market.
This sticker is a low budget sell reissue.
So that was and this was a limited edition. That's one that I actually have is a limited edition. The next Gary Moore I have is his famous 80s effort, Run for Cover.
That one I'm missing still, unfortunately.
Yeah, and this is fantastic. Of course, Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy is on this on a few songs.
Yeah,
this, of course, has Out in the Fields.
Yeah.
Right?
That one I want to
Run
get
for
off.
Cover, Military Man, which also featured Phil Lynott. This is an absolute fantastic album. This was from 1980, I'm guessing 87, I'm going to guess, 84, 87.
Out in the Fields was released in 85.
85, yeah, there you go, 1985.
That one is going up on my wish list.
Run for Cover, Gary Moore. Then from his blues years, I've got this one here, which is one of those music on vinyl a limited blue edition, limited to, I don't know how many copies was this. I got number 812, music on vinyl, and this was Bad for You Baby, which was a blues album. Fantastic blues album.
I definitely no huge fan of blues music, but Gary Moore is an exception.
This is a really exceptional album.
I think this is the only blues album I have with Gary Moore. Pretty ordinary, but still got the blues.
And then the last one I have from him, well, I do have a 12-inch single. I'll pull that one out in a minute. Is this one that came out almost exactly a year ago. This one dropped exactly a year ago. This is Gary Moore live from London. This was released on a limited edition blue vinyl. And it's this one right here. This came out last year.
Wow.
Live from London, and it was recorded. I'd have to look on the inside here. Let's see what it says. It came out last year, 2020.
Record Store Day release?
No. Here you can find it on a domestic release, standard release, not limited. Or I guess it probably is limited because it's blue vinyl. Blue vinyl, limited edition blue vinyl. I don't know how many copies. This was recorded in give me a sec here, at the O2, recorded at the O2 Islington Academy, December 2nd, 2009. So really, really good performance. I mean, you look at the songs that are on here, Oh Pretty Woman, Bad for You Baby, Down the Line, Since I Met You, Still Got the Blues. Have You Heard, All Your Love, The Mojo Boogie. And of course, my favorite, of course, is there's like a 12-minute version of Parisian Walkaways on that closes the show.
When did you say it was recorded? Was it 2009?
Recorded 2009.
Wasn't long before he died.
Yeah, didn't he die in 2012 or 11 or something like that?
Yeah, I remember because I wrote a memoriam over him on my blog pretty much around that time.
So that one just came out last year. If you can find it, it's a really, really great performance. I do have one 12-inch single here too that I picked up last year that I found crate digging. I found this crate digging just before the pandemic hit us. Let me just pull it here. It was a real nice find. Where are you hiding? There we are. I found this one right before the pandemic hit. I was at a flea market, and I found this at a flea market for a couple of bucks right before the pandemic hit.
Yeah, I have that one on 7-inch.
Yeah, this is the 12-inch. The Out in the Fields 12-inch maxi single thing. Found it at a flea market for a couple of bucks. Had includes Still in Love with You. It said it included it includes a poster, but of course the poster wasn't in it. But what do you want? It's a flea market. But Gary Moore, Phil Lynott.
If I'm going to
Out
buy
in the
12
Fields.
inches, if I'm
It
going
had
to
Out
buy
in the
12
Fields, Out in the Fields, Military Man, Still in Love with You, and it was a gatefold 12-inch single.
yeah, get
You don't often see too many gatefold 12-inch singles.
more.
You're breaking up there, Jorgen. Breaking up. You lagged out.
Here, do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah, yeah. Not often you see gatefold in 12 inches. I agree.
Yeah. So that was
I
really
do
nice.
have.
That was a really cool find for a couple of bucks at a flea market, and it's
I
you
think
know
I have one
it's
gatefold.
almost mint. It's almost mint.
I think I have one gatefolded 12-inch with OND.
And it's on this. What was this label? 10 Ryan Star Limited Production. I've never seen this record label before.
Now I've seen it before. Yeah, I think it is Virgin owned. I'm not sure.
All rights producer. Like who owns this label? I don't see it doesn't say Virgin Records or.
I'm
This is a UK manufactured in the UK, so it's a UK import.
I have a couple more Gary Moore though.
By Virgin. Yeah, you manufactured in the UK by Virgin Records.
I think I've seen a Virgin logo in that somewhere.
Yeah, it's in on the back cover here. It's in the 10.
Yeah,
it's in the 10 right there.
It's a sub label to Virgin.
Yeah, see in the 0 of 10
Yeah.
It's got the Virgin logo.
I recognize it.
But that's great stuff.
I have also Wild Frontier.
Yeah, I've been looking for that one. That's one I do want to get. Wild Frontiers.
Should be pretty easy because this is pretty ordinary in the thrift stores.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in our stores here for a long time.
After the war.
I don't think I know that one.
That it came out 89.
I don't know that one. I'll have to check that one out.
After the war was a pretty good hit actually. And I have G-Force. Have you seen this before?
What's that one? Yes, I have seen it. I don't have it, but I have seen it. Yeah, Gary Moore G-Force. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
If Anthony showed some Oasis, I'd be impressed, but we all know that will never happen. No chance, Zion.
I can show it if he wants to, but that wasn't the question.
Oasis. Do I have any Oasis? Oasis. Do we have to impress Vinyl Dale? Do I have Oasis? I'll admit I do not have a lot of Oasis. I'm not a huge Oasis fan, but just to make Vinyl Dale happy, Oasis. What's the story, Morning Glory? There you go.
I suppose
There is Oasis in my collection.
that is
On
was
CD. I have no Oasis on vinyl, but I do have Oasis on CD.
that was the Oasis album that made me discover them. I for
Yeah,
my
same with me.
I for my part is a huge Oasis fan. I've had the Dig Your Own Soul.
Midnight at the Oasis. Who did that? What was that? That mini
Maria
Maria Muldaur.
and
Midnight at the Oasis.
I prefer the brand new Heavis version. But we have Dig Your Own Soul. We're complete with the DVD also.
Yeah, like, Vinyl Dale's like, whoa! Anthony showed Oasis. There you go.
We have
Yeah, fortunately I don't have any Oasis on vinyl. I actually do one day want to get this album on vinyl.
And what about this? This is this audiobooks, Oasis storybook, the autobiography, or interview on 2 discs. So part of my Oasis collection, I have a lot of CD singles also.
You just said Oasis, Dale, so you didn't say Oasis on vinyl. So, but yeah, I do love this Oasis album. I'm not a huge fan of Oasis, but I would like this vinyl because Champagne Supernova, Wonderwall, great album. Great album.
Yeah, really.
One of the best albums to come out, certainly in the 90s.
Yeah,
one of the great albums of the 90s.
When Oasis actually arrived, I thought they were pretty much an overrated festival rock band that they did me anything. I didn't hate the music, but I thought it was pretty overrated. Then
one of the few decent rock bands of the 90s.
Yeah. Then a couple of years after when What's the Story was released, I met a girl at a school who introduced me to them and introduced me to Britpop overall, and gave me a challenge to listen to What's the Story. And she made a cassette copy for me, and I realized that, hey, this was awesome. How could I have been so wrong for all these years? And all of a sudden, my mind shifted. Now I was an Oasis fan all of a sudden.
Yeah, it just takes it. It's like that with a lot of artists and bands. They can be around for a long time and you don't get into them, and then they drop an album that just resonates with you and you become a fan.
Yeah,
it's like we're talking. Like I was talking about with Niamh and her dad earlier today in the show. When I said I didn't get into Yes until the Drama album came out. I was not a Yes fan at all. I didn't like Yes at all, and then Drama came out. It resonated with me. I became a Yes fan because of Drama, and then I started to go forward and backward. Went forward with their catalog, and then started going backward with their catalog. But it sometimes just takes that one album.
I usually say that I'm later than exactly everybody, but it's not often I change my mind that total when it comes to a music artist. If I don't like it normally, pretty much like I love an artist, I like it to death. I dislike normally if I dislike an artist. It's
like I had said, when I was a teenager, I didn't like Yes because I wasn't a fan of John Anderson's voice. The stuff I was listening to, I don't know, John Anderson's voice, I didn't like it. And then when Drama came out, they had the new vocalist singing. They had a different vocalist, and those vocals just rang home for me. And I grew to appreciate the rest of the Yes catalog, John Anderson, so on. But Drama will always be leaps and bounds ahead of anything else they ever did for me. Maybe just because it was a one-off album with a one-off vocalist and.
But age also have a certain way to change things because.
The older I think, certainly the older I've gotten, I'm one of those people that is constantly searching new music and I like discovering new music always. I have a thirst for new music, and I think that thirst has gotten greater as the older I've got.
Yeah. There are a lot of bands actually that through age I have changed my mind to recently. If you asked me around 25 years ago if I would start liking Blood, Sweat and Tears, I thought was dreadfully boring in the mid-90s. Today I love Blood, Sweat and Tears. David Bowie for me in many years were his 80s stuff. It was Let's Dance and Absolute Beginners and so on, and then all of a sudden I'm starting to enjoy heavily his older stuff. And today I'm huge David Bowie fans, even when it comes to the older stuff.
Mhm.
It's amazing how age can change sometimes.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you there. What do you got there? Hey, Mike Mason, Anthony, I got 2 further listening series CDs. My Pet Shop Boys, Please, and Fundamental. And I got both Funko Pops as well, Tuesday as well. Good for you, Mike. You're kind of going randomly on your Pet Shop Boys further listening series. I know you have to kind of just sort of get the ones that you see and find. But yeah, Please and Fundamental. I think the Please was a three disc, was it not? The Please was a 3-disc. Was the Fundamental a 3-disc as well, or was it a 2-disc? I can't remember.
I only have it on vinyl. I only have it on vinyl, so I don't know. I have both the Please and Fundamental though, and it's really, really great. As people know, I have more Pet Shop Boys in my collection than any other artist. I was looking at my Discogs and I was going through some of my favorite artists, and then just like you can go on Discogs and search out that one, and it'll show how many things you have by that artist in your collection. And Pet Shop Boys had more Pet Shop Boys in my library than any other artist I own. I had, I think it was 79 different pieces of Pet Shop Boys in my collection. 79. Somewhere down here.
The second closest to Pet Shop Boys was Golden Earring, I think, at 54 pieces.
It's something close here also. I have the Pet Shop Boys is one of the most artists that I have the most of. Not their latest albums though.
I have everything. I'm a completist when it comes to Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah, I want to be a completist. I want to find the latest, but the
Hotspot is fantastic. Hotspot is fantastic. The last 3 were a trilogy. They were all produced by Stuart Price, and they were intended as a trilogy. It was a 3-part. It was a trilogy. So Stuart Price came on and produced the last 3 albums, Electric, Super, Hotspot, and they are a fantastic trilogy of dance pop, Europop, just a return to form. Fantastic.
They have 2 albums though that I was very disappointed at, but I have.
Which ones did you? Which are your least favorite?
Nightlife. I thought that Nightlife.
I didn't mind Nightlife. I wasn't a big fan of Fundamental. Not a super fan of Fundamental. I think Fundamental for me is probably the weakest in their library. But I liked Elysium. Fundamental and Elysium, I think, are the 2 weakest for me in the library.
Yeah, this one, Elysium, was definitely.
Elysium. I think that's the one before that. Yes, I absolutely loved Yes.
I loved Yes. It was a huge step up. But
and I liked Release. I liked Release because with that one-off where they played with a full band. And I really liked Yes because it had the guitars in it and the drums, and I thought it was a really original one-off album.
Yeah, I was very disappointed when I listened to this. Actually,
Elysium. I mean, it's got a couple good songs, but it's not a strong album.
No, definitely.
But then they came back right after that with Electric. 6 months later, they dropped Electric, and that one was just fantastic.
Electric, I have actually. Yes.
And it's got that cover of Bruce. It's got the cover of Bruce Springsteen, the Bruce Springsteen song on it. Wow, what a great album! So Electric. That's the first. That's the first in the trilogy. Then you need to get Super, which is after that from 2016 is Super, and then of course Hotspot from last year, which is spectacular as well.
Electric is the last one I have.
That's the first of the trilogy. You need the other 2 to complete the trilogy.
That is the downfall when an artist, when a country's music stations disbands, leaves the artist. All of a sudden, you don't get their albums in normal.
Yeah, and Hotspot was the first album for Pet Shop Boys in like 20 years or something that topped the UK charts last year. When it dropped, it went to number 1. First number 1 in the UK charts for Pet Shop Boys in like 20 years.
Yeah, and that hit single with Years and Years was actually really, really great.
Yeah, they had years and years on that album. That's right. Yeah, it's a fantastic album. I really like that album. And I got the autographed version. I pre-ordered the autographed version, which came with the vinyl and then the CD that had the exclusive CDs. So the first disc was the CD, and the second disc is the instrumental version of the album, which Pet Shop Boys have done a couple times before, where they release a limited edition that'll have the album and then an instrumental version of the album, and the album minus the vocals.
Yeah, the remix album. And the interesting thing, normally I do not like remixes, because I think they're definitely. I'm a radio edit guy. I like the normal, but Pet Shop Boys is one of the.
Pet Shop Boys are masters at remixes, though.
Yeah, those are one of the few remix artists that I can actually enjoy, because they make special atmosphere in their remixes. It's not just
their remixes. I mean, Pet Shop Boys have more music in remixes. B-sides. They're one of those bands that are artists, so you can't call them a band because it's just a duo. But Pet Shop Boys have so many songs that are B-sides that are fantastic. Like, they're one of the few artists out there that release good B-sides.
Yeah.
Like they have more songs as singles and B-sides than they do album material. Like, if you add up all the songs on their 13 albums, they don't equal the number of songs that they have released as B-sides and one-offs. And
to me, it's actually I don't understand how Shameless never became an A-side.
Exactly. They've released 2 albums, Format and Alternative, which are a collection of all their B-sides.
Yeah.
Then they're double CD collections of their B-sides, and that's a lot of B-sides,
And how Shameless wasn't released as a ordinary single is, to me,
I know, a fantastic song. Well, there's a few. There was, Hey Headmaster and Misery, and there's so many great songs that they release as B-sides that could be singles so easily.
Yeah. And I've also the most unusual Pet Shop Boys song is a B-side, and that's the B-side of Suburbia, The Sound of the Atomic Split.
The Sound of the Atom Split.
That is so weird.
Yes, that was a freaky song.
No, it's the sound of the
atom splitting. Yes, great stuff.
I got a left break vinyl wants to know if I have the new station to station. No, I only have the ordinary vinyl station to station.
Yeah, there's a new station. I don't think is it come out yet? I don't think it's come out yet. It's going to have an extra disc of music or something. There's a new station to station coming.
I don't know. As a right now, I have station to station both on CD and on vinyl, I think.
Okay, yeah, Mike. Yeah, so both Please and Funnel were the 2-disc ones. It's cool to like the Pet Shop Boys within the VC, but outside, everyone would think you're. I love Pet Shop Boys. I'm
not pretty sure about that, because at least here in Sweden, Pet Shop Boys is pretty much acceptable in every kind of.
Pet Shop Boys always did really well here in Toronto. Really well. Like, you go to a record store, and when you go to a record store here, when Pet Shop Boys drop a new album, it's right there on the front rack. They always have a big display. Pet Shop Boys have always been really, really big here in Toronto.
You have, of course, heard the Liza Minnelli Pet Shop Boys.
I've got it on vinyl.
Yeah.
I like Liza Minnelli album done by the Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that it actually is a great.
It's all right. It's all right.
Album, but she doesn't have the voice for it. But
it's all right. It's all right.
But it's I read an interview with I think it was Neil Tennant, who said that when they brought Liza Minnelli to the record studio to record that album, she looked everywhere and confused. She had no check on how music was done today, so she checked.
Quite a few of the songs.
Where is the orchestra? Where is the orchestra? She only saw a computer.
Yeah. Well, quite a few of the songs from that album, the Pet Shop Boys have since released in their B-sides and singles collections as doing those songs. Quite a few of the songs that appeared on that album, they've since released themselves.
Sorry, I said so. I think it's one of them. but I think most of them are. Pet Shop Boys have done astonishing production for Liza Minnelli, but Liza Minnelli doesn't have the voice to sing that kind of music. Then I think Dusty Springfield.
Yeah, I think I mean I listened to that album, and there's songs that worked, and there's songs that didn't.
No, exactly.
And it's just like the music. I appreciate Chris Lowe's work on the music part of it, and the music production is fantastic on that album. But just some of the vocals just don't work with some of the tracks.
Twisting My Sobriety.
Yeah, that's one. Twisting My Sobriety has since been released by Pet Shop Boys outside of that album.
Amazing intro to Twisting My Sobriety with Liza Minnelli. Amazing intro, but she sings like it's some kind of a musical drama theater version, and it definitely is not that kind of a song. She over dramatized her singing there.
Anthony, thanks to you, bro. I pre-ordered my 2021 annually book with the CD. Yes, I've been buying the annually book for a few years now. And I look forward to the next one. Of course, annually, if Jorgen doesn't know, is a book that Pet Shop Boys release every year, exclusively on their website, limited number. It's basically I guess you could call it a diary of everything that they've done in what they've been doing in the previous year. It kind of documents their whatever they've been up to for the last year. And they release one every year in May, and it's called Annually. And they always include in it a CD of like original stuff that you can only get on the Annually. And if you go on Discogs and look at the CDs that come with those books, because they're not for sale, they're all worth a small fortune. Like the previous 3 books that I have that came with the CD, they're all like these little mini CDs. They're like they're like EPs, I guess you could say, 5, 6, 7 song EPs. They all are worth a small fortune on Discogs because they only came in the books, and I think they only published about 500 copies of the book.
Do you
this year's book comes with an EP, and CD's got 2 songs on it this year. One is the Pet Shop Boys pandemic edition of West End Girls, which you can see on YouTube, the music video for. And I really like that new mix, that re-envisioned West End Girls. So that is on that CD.
It definitely felt like it was, I hope it's one time only, because it's more of a great experiment than a great song.
Yeah, it was a great experiment. But so that's on that CD, and a brand new song, which I don't have the name of on the top of my head. Forgive me, I should know what the name of it was. But a brand new song, which will be exclusive to that Annually CD. I wish I could remember the name of the song. But it's a 10-minute long song. And so that's going to be interesting to see what they've done. That's a 10-minute. A long time since they recorded a 10-minute song. It's not like an extended song or anything like that. It's a 10-minute.
Yeah. Have you their video version of Pop Art? The DVD version of Pop Art with with their videos. I have
both the CD and the DVD.
Yeah, I really like the DVD version of Pop Art because it has a special thing in it where you can listen to Neil and Chris talk about their videos.
Yeah, they have the the secondary track.
Yeah, and that is actually it's still. I think they're really entertaining and interesting when talking about how they made the video. They made the videos.
Last year's annually, because I had this one actually sitting out because I just was listening to it. I was just listening to it the other day. Last year's annually came with this CD, which is My Beautiful Laundrette.
Laundrette.
Yeah, and this is music that they did for a play, and it is so freaking good. And this is a 7-track EP, and it's so good. And this one currently, this little 7-track EP, you go on Discogs, it's like $90 average median value to get this now, because it's the only place it's ever been released. And this is what Pet Shop Boys do every year in their annually books, is include one of these CDs of exclusive music, and it's always really good music. It's always really good. So that's that. So that drops May, the first week of May, I believe. or last week of April, first week of May, something like that, annually. Small little hardcover book.
Now, as I said, it's not all that easy to find new Pet Shop Boys stuff. At least not in my city right now.
Yeah, well, you can always order. That's when you got to order on the internet or whatever.
Yeah, the new stuff. I admit.
Like I've been ordering most of my Pet Shop Boys. In fact, all my Pet Shop Boys probably for the last 5 years, I've bought pretty much directly from the Pet Shop Boys, from their website. All the 12-inch singles, because they had, Hotspot had three 12-inch singles. So I got them all directly from the website.
I think I found a limited, all my 12 inches down the cellar, so I can't pull out right now. But I think at the record fair, I found a Pet Shop Boys It's All Right limited, 10-inch.
The 10-inch, I've got that one. The black cover?
Yeah, exactly.
The black cover, yeah, I've got that one.
But then, of course, I have a huge part of Pet Shop Boys 7 inches, of course.
Yeah, me too. Most of the 7 inches, of course, were all from the first 4 albums.
Yeah. And of course, a huge, not just as huge, but still pretty big of CD singles.
Yeah, and then last year for Hotspot, they released they said it was their first 7-inch single they'd released in like 20 years. And that was exclusively, and that one you had to buy exclusively from the website.
Mm.
And that was I should show that one. That one was a 7-inch single. First 7-inch single in 20 years from the Pet Shop Boys. Where is it? Where are you hiding? There you are. So this one here was their first 7-inch single in apparently over 20 years. Released last year from Hotspot, and that was for Burning the Heather.
Mm.
And that was released through their website. And
That's
it had a nice little, outer sleeve and an inner sleeve.
It was a pretty good ballad.
And then the single. And the flip side of this had on it Decide, an exclusive track that is only on the 7-inch single. Is a song called Decide, which is so good. Where the heck's it? Which is so good. Decide. Pet Shop Boys were famous for releasing songs exclusive to whatever single they were on.
And I guess you have this one also.
Yes, Pandemonium. Yep.
Three DVD. Three.
Yeah, you got the one with the 2 CD and the DVD, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I paid only $5 for it.
Bargain.
New, that is new.
Bargain.
Definitely.
Do you have this classic?
Nope. No. I want to get
their full-length movie.
Yeah. I want to get hold of it, even though I suspect that it's more valuable than good.
Their full length. I don't mind it. It's all right. I mean, it's just like a big, long 90-minute music video, basically. That's how I would rank it. I would rank it as a 90-minute Pet Shop Boys music video.
Yeah, I heard about it.
It was remastered and re-released on Blu-ray last year by the Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it here in North America. I think I can order it from you can order it from their website, but I already have this DVD version, so I'm good to go.
Interesting. When I was young and watching the video for Always on My Mind, and we here in Sweden didn't have there was no promotion or anything for that movie back then in '87 here in Sweden. And watching the Always on My Mind video, I had no idea what is this video about.
Yeah. Major motion picture. Pet Shop Boys, big delve into the major motion picture business. I mean, there was a story and a plot, but I look at it more like how long was the running time on this thing? It was like 90 minutes or something.
But it was a pretty huge flop, if I'm not wrong.
And it's all right. The music's great. Yeah. I just, like I said, 90-minute music video.
But on a motion picture, it was pretty good flop, if I'm not wrong.
And it had that guy. It had one really big actor in this.
Yeah, it's the guy who sits in the back in the Always on My Mind video, I guess.
Yeah. And the guy from the All Is on My Mind video. And he played the villain in one of the Lethal Weapon movies. I think it was the second Lethal Weapon movie. He played the big villain in the Lethal Weapon movie. So
I think he's cool. He's so cool in the Always on My Mind video, sitting over there and smiling like a creepy guy. Where do you
there's one for you, Mike Mason. The Pet Shop Boys motion picture. It couldn't happen here. If you wanna complete your Pet Shop Boys, you need the Pet Shop Boys. It couldn't happen here. Major motion picture.
That's right.
I can't remember what this year. This came out around the time of the Introspective album.
Yeah, that's right, Simon. Pet Shop Boys is still better than Prog. I couldn't agree more.
And what was he said? Have a quick look in the comments here. Pet Shop Boys, dear Lord. 2016, but not digital sound, what some of the others have been. There's Gimmick, Red or White.
It is about David Bowie, Station to Station.
Oh, yeah. You hear a lot. You a lot of always wearing Beatles and heavy rock T-shirts, yet nobody wears Pet Shop Boys shirts. I wonder why. Well, if you ever watch me on Rachel's live streams, or on my live streams, or on some of my videos on my channel, I've worn a number of different Pet Shop Boys shirts. A number of different. I have probably a half a dozen different Pet Shop Boys shirts, all from Pet Shop Boys tours, because I've seen them every time they come here.
I don't have hardly.
I've seen them a half a dozen times. So
I don't have hardly any artist T-shirts. Music to me is going to be played. It's going to be played. Not.
Thank you, Mike Mason. The song is called "Cricket Wife," 10 minutes long. That's the new song that's coming out on the annually. Yeah, Cricket Wife. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they've done for a 10-minute song.
The clock here is midnight, so I'm going to go to bed right now.
Yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day. It's 7:30. I normally like my streams to go for about 3 hours, and it's been 2 hours and 57 minutes. So that's a stream for me.
That is right, POV music. I don't wear music. I listen to it.
Thanks for everybody showing up as usual. Yeah. You can find me here every other Saturday, 4:30 p.m. That's my stream time. Every other Saturday, 4:30 p.m. I hope I see you next time, Jorgen. Drop by next time. I hope you come.
Nice to talk to you, Anthony.
Always nice to have you, my friend.
Yep.
Always nice to have you.
Take care.
I'll see everybody in another 2 weeks from now. And thanks for Prog Nerd and her dad, Peter, for showing up, and Mark Anthony K, and Ron Beaudry, and Jorgen S. And thanks everybody. This stream will stay up as a replay. I know the replays always get a lot of views, so people can enjoy the replays. I keep my replays up because I have family-friendly streams with no drama. So
yeah.
So I don't mind keeping them up. I'll see you soon, Jorgen, and I'll see everybody else really soon. Thanks, Mike Mason. Nice to see you. Thanks, POV, Left Break Vinyl. Let's get everybody. Invisible Ray, if that was you, my friend, thank you for dropping by. Vinyl Dale, like I said, thanks for dropping by. Rob Walker, as always, thanks for dropping by. Christoph, thanks for dropping by. Paul Nolan, everybody else that was here. Dave, the Pickup Artist, everybody that dropped by. Star Trekker. Fit to be Tie-Dyed was also on the show briefly. Thanks for everybody for dropping by. I'll see you guys all in the videos or the live streams or wherever. Take care, everybody. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Social distance, all that jazz. I'm out. Rock and roll.